Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SuperOldGameSaturday. We are up on time tonight, so I guess this is an off week as far as Twitch is concerned. So, yeah, 7 o'clock. We're going to be playing classic gaming, or older gaming, or whatever gaming you want. And this is me going back to a game that I played about a month ago, but we didn't finish. Edwalk and Nikki wanted to see Katamari Damacy, so I gave them the Reroll release for the Xbox One. We're playing it here again. We are going to finish the game off, and when we are done with that, because it should only take about an hour and a half, I think, we are going to have another Namco element that I was kind of reminded of, which will be Mr. Driller Online from the 360. We will play that a little bit later, get some puzzle action. It also kind of reminded me of this because Mr. Driller is a game that's from Namco, and it's also a game that has music kind of similar to Katamari Damacy. By the way, if you're wondering what that missing icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen is, that's for Final Fight Double Impact. How fitting, because that's the next of the classic streams I'm putting on the YouTube site, which we're all set to. And soon enough, I'll have part 1 of Katamari Damacy up, because that was a fun one, and I'm looking forward to having a little more fun playing this to finish the game off. I think we only have about 2 missions left, but they're going to be long ones, so let's get right into it, and let's roll up to make a shooting star in the sky. And we'll get more of that great music from this, and also, when we get to the end of the game for the final missions, we're going to hear Katamari and the Rocks, the main theme here, which I'll play again for the intro. We're going to hear that in its entirety, and it is quite a sight to behold. Even more so in the intro, but we will... I'll have a drink of water, and then we will get the game started and watch the intro briefly before we go back to where we left off. Also, we will have a little something different, which is, since I started it fresh last time, well, we saw that end-user license agreement, which I certainly raged on. And good news, just before I go into this, new Pokemon Snap, which was made by Namco, came out yesterday. It does not have an end-user license agreement or a privacy policy, so thank you very much. If anyone from Namco or Nintendo's listening, I appreciate that very much, and so do millions of gamers. But anyway, because we played the game about a month ago, we had the save file, which I did do a little bit of play earlier, just to check a couple things. But yeah, let's run it a little into the in Namco, and let's get this baby started. After we hear the intro one more time. Katamari Damacy. What a strange game, yes indeed. Welcome, Protorova. Good to see you once again. Hope you have had a good week and are having a good day and night so far, although it does not seem like night, because it's, sunny as anything outside. And hello to you, Elect as well. It is great to see both of you again, and welcome to everyone else in the chat as well, as we finish off Katamari Damacy Reroll and have a little bit of fun with Mr. Driller Online. So that's going to be an interesting case and fits with the Namco element. With that, let's get back to the Katamari Damacy Rerolling. Again, this is the Xbox One release. It was on the Switch, PS4, and PC as well. So we're back on the planet. Also, I did do a little bit of off-screen play a little earlier, both today and about a month ago. I did get one of the presents, so because of the great music in this game, I have headphones. So we're playing our other headphones on, and let's go find where the next mission is. It is going to be Make a Star 9. Let's take a look. And again, welcome again, chat. It's good to see you. Today has been awesome. I am glad to hear that. Sign Banu as well. I don't know what language that is. He'll probably tell me Mongolia. Okay, alright. So, I'm not as well-versed in foreign languages in a lot of ways. My days of Japanese and all that was there. I'll be watching while playing Classic EverQuest on Protorova's part. Okay. Definitely good to see, and great to hear the classic gaming. Let me know what's going on with that, or any aspect of gaming you want, including the Katamari Damacy element, and when we get to Mr. Driller, that one as well. Okay. So we're gonna have another mission, another mission to roll up, but also another present, as is for the main Rolling Up Stars elements. I'm feeling good today as well. It's been a long week for me. Not a bad week, but a long one, but this is definitely a nice one to kick in the month of May, and I cannot believe it's May already. We're going to be rolling around the world again, and as I said last time, after rolling everybody up, we're going to be rolling up the whole damn town and the whole damn world, and we're getting there tonight with rolling at 30 meters. We have 20 minutes, so this is why it's going to be a bit longer and why I split this into parts, and the first part will be on the YouTube site eventually. Any longer than that, and you can't expect it to wait. Alright, let's go. And we're getting Let's Roll Up, K Sarah on the soundtrack again, and a nice bounce to start. Once again, same deal as before. Roll up everything, get the Katamari as big as you can get it, and just go nuts. In a lot of ways, that's kind of the idea of this game, or the idea of it when it was around, and ooh, yeah, it was pulled back. The idea of it almost being, and I remember seeing, like, I went back to some of the old receptions of this game when it came out, because it was pretty glowing. I remember the reviews on the Run television show, headed by Victor Lucas and co-hosted by him and, well, at the time, Tommy Tallarico, who did a lot of video game music. We'll run into stuff of his as we go along in the SuperOldGameSaturday excursions in weeks to come at some point. But also he works at Coleco now, but they were talking about how strange this game was, but also mentioning that it's almost like a virtual toy, where you're rolling up a big ball to pick up everything, and there's something to be said about that. While also being so fun and compulsive, as we said last time. In that way, I guess there's not a whole lot we can really go into that's completely different. That being said, we are going to still have a good time with this game, have a nice relaxing time, and anything you guys want to talk about, go into gaming-wise, anything-wise, EverQuest-wise, as I'm seeing in the chat as well, feel free and we can do it, because this is a great game to do that with. In a lot of ways, it's been explained already, and if you're new tonight, welcome. And I will have the first part of this game, which we did about a month or so ago, up on the YouTube site, because SuperOldGameSaturday is now a YouTube channel that has all of the, almost all of the streams that we've done. And I've been loving going back and seeing the memories, and doing the editing of stuff. And again, exploring the idea of gaming and the casual conversations and great discussions that we have, and I do love that, and thank you very much for stopping by every week. It makes my week. And I guess I'm making you guys happy. I'm making you guys and gals watching interested in seeing what we got. And there we go. We're at our first meter. And as the case goes, when we get to a meter, that means we're close to picking up the people. We're going to turn them all into everything we need for our Theater Meteor Supernova as we go. While listening to that great music, which is this track, I believe, was Charlie Kasai. I think I did mention some of that when we did the first part, but I'll just reiterate that because this is a great track in this nice jazzy style. So he's hitting stuff. I figured classic EverQuest would be theme appropriate. Yeah, I could say that for sure. And also, I guess in that way, I mean, it is going back in time with certain things. A game that's even earlier than this one, because that was 1998-9, I believe. Actually, in that case, that's an interesting story I'll bring up briefly as I go. I have a copy of EverQuest for the PC. I still have to figure out what I'm doing with it. Went to a casino and won $100. All right, congratulations. I am glad to hear that you, Lady Luck or whoever luck, anybody was on your side for that and to be able to enjoy that experience. It definitely is an experience for sure. To go back quickly to the EverQuest aspect, I have a copy of that game. I was given free when I was at MagFest because there was a store that I guess wanted to get rid of it, and they just said, like, okay, we're giving it to you. It's like, okay, I'm not going to argue, but I also need to set up how that works as far as things, but I have not had a whole lot of time recently to do that. But at some point to explore the idea of MMORPGs, which I don't have a whole lot of familiarity with outside of Phantasy Star Online, which is kind of an edge case, I know that. But still, there you go. Actually fitting as far as the casino talk, because I guess this kind of jazzy music is the kind of thing you would hear at a casino when I've been at times. And this is to be said about that aspect. Alright, so our Katamari grew again to 2 meters. We still got a ways to go, but lots of more time to roll up, enjoy the music, and get into the elements of this game and other games as well, which is definitely a nice time. And since the last time we played this, I mean, we'll go back into, and I guess we'll probably go back into some of the stuff that we discussed last time. Well, this franchise, of which now I have the ability to play Katamari Forever on PlayStation 3, which I did not when we first streamed this, as well as some of the other ones, on the systems I own. I just bought Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Okay, we're gonna be having that in case of that. A, how are you liking the game? Especially as a fan, I know, of Dr. Botnick's Me Be Machining Your Part, because we played it on your request, and I thank you again for that. And thank you for stopping in. And also fitting because we're going to be doing some puzzle action going on here a little later with Mr. Driller Online. And we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm definitely having a little better luck here in the field than I did last time, where all of the, what are they? All of the, I guess, soccer players or whatever they were just knocking me all over the place last time. Now, no, it's not happening as much. I'll pick up the sidewalk markers and everything else. I played the original Puyo Puyo Tetris, just to go into that. I played the demo, at least, on the Switch version. I liked what I played. I liked the mixture of the Puyo Puyo style and the Tetris style, and the idea of, like, two separate puzzle games played at the same time. First, I was wondering how would balance work on that, but it seemed like it did work based on what I played, and I had a good time with what it was doing. Alright. So, alright, 3 meters. This is, like, the middle ground of him giving us a little bit of an idea, and then also hiding a load screen on the PS2 in particular. Here, not as much. Alright, there we go. And you get that little in-view for the camera, just like Super Mario Sunshine, so you have an idea of where your Katamari is going, which is very nice to see. But I did like Puyo Puyo Tetris, one of what I played, so at some point I do want to play the second game. And actually, I guess to go to that puzzle element... Okay, one thing I mentioned, I bought new Pokemon Snap, because it was out yesterday, and we played the original, the stream of that. I had a great time with that. It's going up on the YouTube site soon, probably this coming week. And I also did buy the game you asked me for last week. We bought Tetrisphere for Nintendo 64. At some point, I'll get a look at what we're going to play. I did put it in just to make sure it worked. It does. I also made sure I bought a copy with the instruction manual, because first, like, yeah, I was 11 when I played that game the first time, so I don't know how it was. I didn't know, like, oh, how off am I going to be with this, but, well, we have it. It's on the table, as are, still on the way, another lot of Nintendo 64 games in that, including WCW vs. NWO World Tour, Nagano Winter Olympics 98 from Konami, which is going to be played. We're going to play that in February when the Winter Olympics come around for 2022. And, yeah, Superman for Nintendo 64, yeah, we got that. It's not even the worst game on the system, but at some point we're going to have to deal with that. Oh, I'll tell you what's going to happen. When I see my coworkers, again, when they come in the office more regularly, we register our Bad Game Thursday, I'm going to bring the cartridge in, and I'm going to say to them, then there's no time to waste. And they're probably going to say, no, we're not playing this. Like, yes, you are playing this, because, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, it gets you a great appreciation for games that you like. And also understanding the idea of elements of something. Even like with Shadow the Hedgehog last week. I don't like the game, but I like playing it, paradoxically enough, because of the experiences we had and being able to put that in context with the rest of the franchise. Ugh, and I'm stuck. Alright. I'll also see, you know what, one other thing I think I'll do, and I'll probably do this near the end, is a little bit of a bonus, because I went into this when we first played this. Round, away she goes, nowhere she stops, no one knows. Absolutely. Ugh. Alright, I'm still stuck again. What I was saying was, when we're done with this, I'll also go into one of the short missions. I'll intentionally fail it just to show what happens when the king, gets, really upset when you fail a mission. But in the meantime, we got 13 more minutes rolling around. We're about 6th of the way done. The good news is when we're rolling as we are, when you start picking up bigger stuff, that size goes up really fast. So we will have time for that. Alright, so we are at 5 meters now, and I also want to keep an eye out of, well, alright, the tall people there are the cow, which was reminding me of when I tried to, I'm losing stuff. Alright, so, yeah, I went down to, not that, okay, I can go through here at 3, I just need to go up there, because I was looking for that gate, but I don't know if I have enough to go, or enough to get up there. So I go past the Peacock gas station, which, I'm trying to think if that's actually maybe a joke on an actual gas station. As I mentioned with Pilewing 64, there's a gas station in that themed after the Paradigm company that made that, which looks like the Citgo logo. This one, Peacock sounds like something gas company related. Chat, let me know about that, because I guess we're gonna, oh right, I gotta go that way. I gotta go through the schoolyard. Okay, so I guess the other thing is we've been here sort of before last time going to the school, but they do open up some areas. Alright, let me do the roll up the hill, or down the hill. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Because, yeah, they changed a little bit, so like, oh yeah, I can go right through there, go through the 3 gate, and we're all set. Now get the bigger stuff, including the Dangwing Boy and the Tell Guy. Okay. As far as the achievement elements, because I know we were getting achievements for every mission as we go, we'll get those. I don't know if we're going to see the roll everything up on Earth achievement tonight. Well, I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Not that I'm necessarily going around for it for the purpose of this, but something else to see. As we keep enjoying the nice music. And the unbridled insanity of this game, which is definitely part of the appeal. Yeah, they went down the hill. At first I hear that, or they, I was like, okay, yeah, I know they're going down that way. It was like, then you have to pay attention to like where they went. As you get bigger, eventually you'll just roll them up first run. Or first roll, I should say. Yeah. Alright, there are all the sumo wrestlers, the towel guys, and the Watermelon Boy again. I guess reminds me of another game of Namco's now I'm thinking about it. And one I could sort of show a little. Taiko Drum Master, which is a franchise of theirs. I have it on the PlayStation 2. It's a music rhythm game that has some tracks that are not. Would not necessarily fall under a copyright element, but it has some that would. So we'd have to be very limited on that one to extent. But it actually does have the Katamari and the Rocks theme from this game. Because actually, when this came out on the PS2, that game was around at the time. But that came out right after it. So Namco decided, well, let's cross-fertilize, which was a nice thing. I think they even had, like, songs from Soul Calibur 2 and, Gaiki. I'm trying to remember what the name of that was. The Genji and the Heike clan, I believe it is. Which is a really, obscure arcade game of Namco's that's in a couple collections of theirs. There's actually the Namco Museum Volume 4 on the PlayStation that has it. Which is a very rare game, but it is on the PlayStation 3 side of things as far as download for $6. So it would be worth that. I guess... Since, again, we're rolling through this, we've seen it, or we're probably literally rolling through this. We saw this a bit last time. Until we get to the end of it, not really much else to say as far as the elements of the game. Let's go back to a topic that went, I guess we had last time, or last time we played this. The PlayStation Store closing. It's not closing, or at least it's not anymore, at least not on the PS3 and the Vita. The PSP is still going, so if you want your PSP stuff, get on that still. But... yeah, Sony pulled back on shutting down the store. I guess they heard the idea of people wanting to have access to some of this stuff. And that goes to, I guess, the other question that a lot of people have, I know, Electris, you have this too, was, will Sony lean in more on backwards compatibility on the back of this decision now? And I guess maybe. We'll see. If nothing else, it means that I don't have to necessarily rush out to grab a bunch of stuff. And I guess you could also look at it in a cynical way and say, like, was Sony potentially doing that for the purpose of, I guess, getting people to buy stuff on the store, I guess, in a way, boost up sales, which I guess, but at some point I was going to get a PS3 anyway, and the only thing they made money off of was my downloads, so it's like, they didn't make money off the PS3 I bought, they didn't make money off of the copy of MGS4 that I bought along with it, because it was a secondhand. They didn't get money off of the hard drive I put into my PS3 to give it more space. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of a half and half that way, but still, in that case, it also means that for the purpose of the stream, we have more material to work with, and also, as I said, as a classic game person or someone who's fascinated by it, that opens up an avenue, and that gets me interested. Alright, but yeah, we can go back here again, feasibly. Alright, so we have 8 minutes. We're gonna be getting this, so don't worry about that. Alright, can we get the swordfish over there? Probably not yet. We might be able to get... okay, not that. Okay, we get the buoy at least. And one thing actually I did notice, I don't know if I showed this off last time, I don't think I did. When you go into the water, there are invisible walls around it, or around certain areas of the island, so you can't necessarily walk, or go all the way around and hit stuff. But you can go around most of it, so not too much of a deal. Alright. Alright, there's the palm trees, and there we go. Can we get these trees? Oh, yes, we can. Sometimes it's hard to tell, because, as I've mentioned, you kind of are going off in an angle with some stuff. Alright, 12 meters, still in diapers. Alright. Alright, that means, though, that with all those trees, there we go. As I mentioned when I play Animal Crossing, I'm on the Deforestation Committee, which is what I always say before I just go and chop trees down, and everybody hates me for it. But there you go, there is our tree Katamari. Or I guess to, actually, I guess going back to some of the stuff we talked about, because I did have to study those videos a little bit for the purpose of, you know, editing for the site. Looking back at that and looking at all the Nickelodeon parallels, I guess I'll quote Rocko's Modern Life and saying, ugh, trees everywhere. But, then again, I'm picking these up by choice. They're not running into them while skiing. We should be able to get that totem pole now. There we go. Yeah, because you go really quick as far as size when you get up that high, but there's the bus. I think I missed that. But yeah, we're rolling up the town now with all the buildings, and, yeah, I do love that evolving scale of the game. It's like, yeah, we were doing all these small things, and now all those other things we're bashing into couldn't pick up. Well, now we are. Now we have the parking lot sign, that tree going away, and all the buildings. And it is nice stuff. And the cow shed as well. Alright. 10 meters and we should be there. At this point, the trees are going to be the best bet. Yeah, because look at that. That's going up really fast by hitting those. Actually, we should get the swordfish down. Well, okay, actually, that was one other thing. I didn't mention this, I don't think. Okay, we can get the swordfish. It's not on guard. Go, ball, go. Absolutely, we are absolutely going. I was going to say, yeah, I don't think the swordfish is not on guard from Donkey Kong Country, but at some point, we'll go back to Donkey Kong Country 1, because I don't have the recording for it, and 2 is up on the YouTube site, so that was a fun time, too. And my girlfriend and I are currently playing through 3, so at some point, we'll show off 3. I think I want to do the Game Boy Advance version, though, because of the extra levels it gives. I guess comparison on the music, which is different. Alright, here we go. This is an area we didn't see. Going into town and trying to go thread the needle on that bridge, which is a lot harder when you have a tiny or a huge Katamari going over that tiny plank. There we go. We got the nice bungalows and the huge trees. Yeah, we got time to keep going with the ball, and if you think this is interesting as far as the scope of it, wait till we get later. And I get, okay, the one thing I was going to mention earlier, I don't know if I saw this necessarily, you sometimes will get a flashing element around your Katamari and we get it really, really big. And you'll sometimes see, like, angel creatures going around it. And usually what that means is that, okay, you're in good shape for everything, but also, if you've played a level before, you go back to it and do that. At the end of it, it gives you the option to make the constellation out of what you made, or turn it into a Stardust. If you make it into a Stardust at that point, maybe I can make that happen. You'll get, I guess, a kind of a secret line of sorts of saying how the prince spoke up the moon he just made. Rich people sure are different. And, well, we'll see. That is, I think, still in the same version. There we go, 30. So in about 17 minutes, we're all set. Why not Katamari? Aggressive yet good-natured. We like to have it bigger. We could do work. Alright, so we have about 4 more minutes to get it even bigger. Let's go back over to the town, because it seems like I didn't do much over on this side. I think, okay, yeah, we can pick up the trawlers. Okay, so yeah, there we go. We pick up the giant squid, which is an interesting, I guess, preview to the game we're going to do next week, although I don't know if we'll actually see that part of it next week, which is going to be for Super Mario RPG. We're doing the first RPG for this channel. I cannot wait to do that, and it's going to be a fun time. That will be in parts, again, like this game, but I'm going to show that game all the love it deserves, and we'll come back to it each month until we finish. And actually, I guess going back to part elements, the parts of this game that will go up, this part and the first one from a month ago, and then also the Metal Gear Solid stuff, which that's going to be the next one on the docket to upload after the Final Fight Double Impact stuff. And I'm looking forward to going through that again, because that was a wonderful playthrough. And I want to thank Blackverse and Protorova again for that one, because thinking back to that one was like, that was such a great experience. Protorova, you recommending it. Blackverse, you being my eyes and ears on that game. You guys were stars on that playthrough, and I want to thank you for that. And it really made it a memorable case for me. So in that case, yeah, I learned a lot with it. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had fun with that one too, and I just want to, again, extend my gratitude. Alright, now we're going into the oil fields and getting the petroleum tanks. I guess rolling up the tanker while we're seeing not Godzilla being, I guess, swung around by, yeah, I guess the, I guess feasibly like a, Super Saiyan robot. Probably my favorite episode. That was your favorite? Okay, that is a good one, especially of the stuff of this year. That was, because that was definitely a great experience of a game. In one way, it was a great cross-section, because it's people who know the game. My pleasure, thank you. Absolutely, and I appreciate that still. And I'm glad that, I guess you're having a good enough time with all this stuff to keep coming back, and I'll keep, keeping your requests, everything you want to see, we'll make them happen. But yeah, that was a great moment, wasn't it? Being able to play that game, because it was the curiosity of seeing it, me playing it a little but not having gone through it, and Electverse saying, I have memories, I know all these elements of this game, giving us all the wonderful trivia as far as things I didn't know. So it's that shared experience, as I mentioned, which is... And actually, I'll say this, I guess I'll go into this a little bit. With the stuff I'm putting up on the YouTube site, I've been, like, doing, like, the descriptions on things, explain, like, when this aired, and all these things. And I remember I did the one for Sonic CD, the first for the Super Sonic Game Saturday stuff. And when I did that, I did kind of go in the description, I was writing it, typing it out. I was kind of, something came over me, I just thought about it, I was like, you know, this kind of turned it into what I kind of wanted the show to become. I mean, as I said, I started the show off more as a casual, you know, place where people I know, people I don't, can come together, discuss games, commiserate them in ways that, if you're not right here with me, or, you know, if you're at distance, or however it might be, we still have that shared experience. And this is kind of what I really, the more I thought about it, I didn't even know necessarily what I wanted with the show. I was like, let me just show off stuff I have. But it really evolved into something kind of weirdly beautiful. So in that case, I want to thank you all for that, and for coming in, and I plan to keep this train going. Especially as things keep getting better, as far as, you know, people being able to be around more, and getting more people in. My girlfriend is going to be in on some of these coming next month. I think we're going to do Mega Man X3, but that'll come a little later, and we'll have that hashed out a little bit as far as the plans. Anyway, pretty big. We imagine we make a pretty big star, whereas ours will be much bigger, but most of what we collected were plants. Their personality draws me in. Well, thank you very much. That means a lot. And I guess that's kind of how I play it, and I've been told this, which is I'll come into this just to give that idea of it, but also I'll say that I know certain things for games, but I'll also say, you know what, I don't know everything. I mean, this game I have a good amount of knowledge, but there's other things that I don't. And that way it's like, it's a shared experience in that way, and I like that, and I like the elements of the chat to you, Electverse, and to you, Protorova, and to everybody else who adds to that. So, again, it's been a wonderful time, and I thank you for it. We're going to keep this train rolling. Most of what we got were plants as we rolled up those trees along with houses and roadways. Let's release that in the sky and get an achievement, most likely, for this. There we go. World Meister, 70 points, make a star 9. It'll probably be popping up right on my, Oh, right, the launch was called off, and here is the father of the children.
中止中止今日の打ち上げは中止
あらあらせっかくあなたの打ち上げを見に来たのに
だって月がなくなったのですよ
あらまあ本当に月がないわ
見せて見せて見せて
Okay, so the moon is gone. I guess fitting then we're coming back to this the week after we did Shadow the Hedgehog to an extent, because actually, that's one thing I didn't mention when we talked last week. It's a sequel to Sonic Adventure 2. The moon was blown in half in Sonic Adventure 2. It's not in Shadow the Hedgehog. That kinda... I missed that. So I was like, well, let's go back to that. The moon's totally gone now, but I guess we're gonna bring it back to, I guess its prominence. So let's see. What is next? Next is... Oh, okay, this... Actually, yeah, this is, it. It's like, it seems like this might be a little anticlimactic, but... This is, I think, a 35-minute level. We're making the moon. There's gonna be one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Salutation. You know Esperanto. Unfortunately, I do not. Maybe we'll invent a cosmic Esperanto. Alright. So, Royal Present is down there. We did not find the other one in the other ones, but, let's go. Alright, so we'll send the things to Earth. And actually, I realized that, you know, loading thing. It goes longer if you press start. You can skip what he's saying before. If you do that, it'll take a little longer to load out, but if you don't, it's basically instantaneous. And I'm assuming if you play this on an Xbox Series X, it'll be instantaneous as well. Okay. Yeah, we have to get 300 meters now. Okay, we have 25 minutes. Alright, and I believe with this one, we are going to be getting, well, the warning going off from the cows. But, we'll see. Let's go. Yeah, here we go. We are getting Katamari on the Rocks, which is done by Masayuki Yanaka, or Tanaka, I should say, sorry. I wrote down the names of the artists, and I thought that was a Y instead of a T. But anyway, this is the theme song of the game. This is the full version of the song. We heard a little bit of it in the opening intro, but you have, like, multiple verses of it, and you get the little, verses going on and everything. The it's good stuff. While we just roll up the earth, roll up the cows, and yeah, this is like the face of Katamari Damacy as far as everything, including the music. As we start going with the Main versus now. La 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 la. And it's such a happy game when you really think about it, even with the dark elements of we're rolling up everything to put them into a supernova. But yeah, it's such a up game. It's a game you play it and you come out home after work or wherever you've been, or you've had a long week. You come to it, you just feel good playing something like that. It's also, again, a weird way of getting an aggression out, but also something that you're just having such a great time trying to boldly do your best. So there you go. All right. All right, we should be able to get the... Okay, there we go. We've got the no ice cream codes. Yeah, getting into the idea of it being, you know, starting to get towards summer now, or into, I guess, into spring now with May Day today. It does not feel like May, weirdly enough. It feels like it should be earlier in the year, but this year's been going really fast. Oh, I knocked someone off. Let's see if we can go get him. And the nice straw hat, which, yeah, I guess... Oh, the playful punk. All right. There's the school desk, school chair. There we go. I guess to go back to the thing with the personality, at least, which is that, again, it's more that... Again, I understand you have a lot of choices of things you could be watching on a Saturday night, things you could be doing, and I understand that. So if nothing else, I want to give you a show that's interesting. I want to at least come off as personable, and, like, as I said, I want to be honest as far as this show, and I've mentioned that multiple times, but just to go the idea of, like, alright, this is the personality of it, and in a lot of ways, this is not just my show in a lot of... Okay, it is my show in the sense I'm doing things, but without an audience, I wouldn't have a show, without people who aren't interested, and they've even said to me, hey, I'm curious about what you're doing, and this kind of unique approach, so in that way, I kind of want to keep it going. In that way, I kind of see an interesting bond as far as, I guess, the chat is concerned, and in that way, that's where the appeal is coming from, and what I kind of want to keep doing. Alright, yeah. Alright, so let the tuna jump right in. Alright, 3 meters. It is definitely just a baby because of the fact we have to go to 300, but yeah, as I said, we're going to be rolling up the whole damn world, and especially when you get it huge on this level, yeah, we have to grate the moon, and we're going to be definitely creating a massive one. As you hear the terrific music of this, all the instruments going on, you know, all the strings, the brass, like the, you know, the horns going in. Like here. It's good stuff. And it's funny, because even for this game, like, even if this is, I mentioned this last time, even if this kind of music doesn't seem like it'd be your thing, there's enough variety to kind of get you to find something you like, but also you can really appreciate it from the music standpoint. We'll see that a little bit with Mr. Driller Online, which isn't exactly the same thing as far as its music, but also has a lot of high quality, you know, full orchestra, you know, real instrument stuff's going. In the meantime, we gotta be dealing with Katamari Damacy. It's so good, man. And that is the idea of a song with a song like this or music like this. It gets you really pumped to play, and you remember every aspect of elements of the lyrics or elements of the dynamics of it. All right, I think we should be able to get these cows feasibly, which goes back to the cow mission, which I did actually replay earlier today, just because I wanted to say like, okay, I got a really small one because I accidentally hit the sign. So I was like, let me get a bigger one, so at least I got the medium, so I'll feel a little more satisfied. Are those the Afro guys on the elephant? Can I get them off? Okay, not yet. Well, okay, not yet. But we'll get them. Yeah, nothing is going to be safe here, feasibly. If there's anything I miss, it's going to be so tiny later on. Right, back into the schoolyard for, I guess, another watermelon festival, and a kid with, well, alright, getting knocked down. Oh, okay, this is the ball race, I guess. Oh, hey, fitting for Mr. Driller, a drill, but we're going to be drilling by our hands, or at least by a hand device, not by one of those things. Shot. Yeah, I didn't see what that was in time. Alright, where's next? Okay, back up there. Alright, now that I'm bigger, and now that there's not a gap between everything, we can go through this really easily. Oh, here we go. There is, like, the old Barnum's Animals, you know, train, circus, zoo, cart kind of thing. I don't know if we can get that. Okay, not yet. But don't worry, Mr. Giraffe, we will save you. I don't know if it's Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us. I wonder what he's doing nowadays, but, you know, hopefully he's doing okay. And, of course, he still has a place in all the hearts. You remember Toys R Us. It is weird they're gone, but, again, the spirit lives on. Or, to quote another Namco game, but the soul still burns. And we will get to Soul Calibur at some point for the fighting showcase at, I think, around Thanksgiving we're going to do. We will look at Soul Calibur 2 amongst those. That is going to be a nice one. I guess for that purpose or anything else, let me know what other fighting games you want to see. We're going to be running through the Xbox 360, so what that's going to mean is anything that's on the 360 or anything that's backwards compatible with it from the original Xbox is in play. So whatever you want to see for that or any other of these playthroughs or any, you know, exploration of anything, let me know, and we will make that happen. Oh, okay, there's a car. Alright, you know what? I'm not gonna go down and get it. We got the nice ducks. And yeah, the police are trying to shoot me, but yeah, they're not gonna get very far because A, I'm behind all this stuff, and B, I'm so tiny. I mean, yeah, look at me right there. You can barely see that right there in the center of the screen. That little speck of green like there. It's like, they're like ants down there as far as, you know, how small I am. You need like a microscope to see me, hence why we have the little, you know, view on the side like that. I can't get the individual pieces of that. He's able to bring a lot of trivia and other references, no matter how obscure. That's true, but that's also where, you know, chat comes into as well. Okay, for a minute I thought, like, the music stopped. I forgot it's one of the parts of the song that's, you know, goes silent. Although, because we already went through the whole song, there's no vocals in this next part. They do instrumental, so it's like you're missing the "Idavide being so good" or whatever that is missing. So it's like silence for 3 seconds. Ooh, all right. Also, Soul Calibur count mentioned number 2. Yeah, I guess. Oh shit! All right, and that other thing of number 2, me getting stuck in all these wonderful items coming off of the Katamari. I'm trying to remember when I last mentioned Soul Calibur 2. I guess I mentioned it. I've mentioned it at some point before. I guess it'd be something with when we talk Namco. But yeah, we will definitely get into that at some point. And feasibly, I guess the other thing is that with Soul Calibur 2, I'm planning to use the Xbox version, but there is also a 360 version that they released, which is like $20. Which I don't know if I'll get that. I might. I mean, the one element of that version is that, and it's also on the PS3, which again, because of the store not closing, you'll still be able to get. They did add the option, or they do what you play as Heihachi, who is the exclusive character from the PlayStation 2 version, along with Spawn, who is the exclusive character from the Xbox version. But if you want to play as Link, you still gotta buy a GameCube version, although I don't think it costs a lot on the GameCube, but yeah, chat, correct me on that if that's not right, because I know the GameCube market is... Yeah, let's go to that. The GameCube market for used games, it is massive as far as price on stuff. So it's not as easy to find stuff on that system as you'd think, although you sometimes have edge cases like Shadow the Hedgehog where it's cheaper on, you know, other stuff. Hopes for E3. Yeah, that's a good question. Alright, I'll say one thing. I kind of alluded to this, I guess, sort of. I mentioned this before. I guess I'll say Switch update for folders, but as far as... But I think everybody wants that. But outside of that, more specific, I've been paying attention, I guess, to what companies are going to be involved in doing stuff for it. I know the main console manufacturers are going to be involved. Microsoft, Nintendo. Sony doesn't do a conference there anymore. I mean, technically Nintendo doesn't because they do the Direct, but they also do stuff for it. And I know Sega and Ubisoft, and I think Konami said they're going to do something with it too. I guess what I'm hoping for right now is... I guess I want to see, in particular, since we're all about 6 months or so into the next generation of stuff with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, I guess I want to see the next set of games on that are really going to be, you know, selling on that system. Because I mentioned to a couple people before, I said, most of my interest in this new generation so far is how it's handling either last generation with the backwards compatible element, or even generations before technically through that. So I was like, okay, I could want, you know, classic game releases and stuff, like particularly for companies like Sega and things like that, and I guess Namco and Bandai and all that. But I guess also, I want to see, like, what's the system sellers that are going to be coming for people who haven't jumped on some of those other consoles yet. I guess some of the games I'm already curious on. I mean, as far as Xbox Series X, I'm curious to see more on Everwild, which is the new game from Rare, which is kind of like this... It seems like they're taking a page a little bit from Horizon Zero Dawn, but they're also kind of... It almost seems like a co-op sort of take on that, but we haven't really seen much as far as like the way the gameplay's working. So I'm curious about how it looks. It also kind of reminds me of like a more high scale, you know, budgeted element of games like, I don't know if you play these, Fea from EA or Lost Ember, which are like independent games, which are actually quite interesting games. My girlfriend had both of them, showed me them, and they were quite impressive to me. I want to see more on the new Perfect Dark that's coming out for the Series X. As far as that. As far as Sony, I know that Sony has stuff coming out soon. They have, I guess they have the new Ratchet & Clank game, A Rift Apart, which I think either that's coming out before E3 or it's coming out right around the time. I'm not sure which. I think it's pretty soon on that one, because I see a lot of stuff with that. I want to see what's going on with that. Potentially returns to other franchises of Sony's and Microsoft's and Nintendo's as well. So I guess in that case, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And it'd definitely be interesting to see that, because, I mean, usually, I guess with a lot of things with E3, that's usually what I tend to say to people, is like, well, what's coming out soon? It's like, well, wait to E3, we're going to be curious to see what they have. But it always creates an interesting case for new stuff, but also for what, you know, retro stuff is, because I went back to some of the videos, again, because I've been doing that a lot for the purpose of the site and archiving. But I remember going into, like, okay, what were the announcements of some companies in the middle of the year with stuff like BlizzCon and the Nintendo Directs, and what they have for classic gaming, but also for, like, the next element. Because, I mean, yeah, this is a retro gaming show, feasibly, as far as, like, how it's laid out, but we'll play newer stuff. I've played newer stuff. I mean, this is a newer game, technically, because it came out last December for the system, even though it's a remake of a PS2 game. So in that case, like, yeah, I'm just curious about what's the next set of games going to be, as far as, like, that next classic. Because that's the other thing, I guess, because I've been talking to people about this, which is the thought of, some people said to me that they'll want to play, like, games of the established series, which definitely makes sense. They're established for a reason. People love them for a reason. They get hits for a reason. But then I was thinking, well, think back to the days when they were not necessarily household names. How about when Katamari Damacy came out? That was a risk on Namco's part to put that out, and put it out at $20 here, thinking, well, if this doesn't sell, well, will this go anywhere? Or would this be too strange as far as the US market? But what happened was that, no, it wasn't. People did kind of attach to it. So I guess in some ways I'm always interested in seeing, like, what's going to be the next big, you know, IP that's going to come out of something, and, like, where that next great idea for a game comes from. Because in a lot of ways, that's been what I've liked to see a lot when, again, and it's not always easy to come up with a new concept for something, or a new twist, but then when you see a great example of it, it's just something that it kind of clicks. Actually, my girlfriend was playing, I think she got this as one of the PlayStation 4 freebies, Subnautica, which I think is getting a Switch port this month. I think it's getting its sequel, or sort of half the sequel sorts coming out for it. And I like some of the ideas, like, hey, like deep sea diving in ways that we don't see as much, or I haven't seen as much. So I'm kind of seeing, like, what's that next big game that's going to surprise us? Even if it ends up not necessarily being something that turns out great. In some ways, the attempt, I mean, because I was a big one on, like, watching the idea of what was looking at No Man's Sky, even though, like, it was kind of disappointing when it came out, but then it's kind of evolved from there, so sometimes you get those evergreen elements of it. I'd love to see a new Super Monkey Ball out of Sega, and that's an interesting case, too, because about, I think a year and a half ago, was when they did the HD version of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, which was the Wii game. They put it to the 360, or the Xbox One, they put it to Switch, they put it to PS4. I bought it on Xbox One, I have it, we can show it. I think that's the only one I personally own. But I think the guy who was responsible for that franchise basically said, I think they were using that as a gauge to see, okay, if this does well, and from what I understand, I guess it did okay from what Sega's mentioned of it, will that mean a return to that, and also a return to other Sega franchises, which they've been doing a lot recently. They've done that with Streets of Rage and Streets of Rage 4. It's getting DLC in about a month or so, I think. They did it with Panzer Dragoon with the remake. They're doing Panzer Dragoon Choose Vi getting remade, which is going to be great, because that game is fantastic on the Saturn, and at some point we can show it off, because my girlfriend has it, and that might be one of the ones she wants to get. I'll be getting the remake in that. And then also, actually, one of the Nintendo Directs, or the indie one they did recently, they, actually, this was not really much of an indie thing, but they announced Forever Entertainment, who did the remake of Panzer Dragoon. They are doing the remake of House of the Dead 1, which is insanely hard to find of the few ports it's gotten, which were on the Saturn and on the PC. They're really expensive, and they were not very good ports, exactly. Well, the PC one was a little better. But yeah, the fact they're doing a total remake of that for Switch, I'm going totally nuts. Because I love House of the Dead. At some point, we'll get to House of the Dead, because I have 2 and 3 on the Wii. I have 2 technically on the Dreamcast as well, and I bought 4 on the PS3. So yeah, I'm a big one on that, kind of like the rail shooter idea for that. So that's another Sega franchise. I think the hope is, yeah, maybe, you know, Sega's getting some success with some of this stuff. And also, I guess, going to Sega, I mentioned this a little bit last week, what's the next thing for Sonic? Because they're going to announce something for Sonic last year at South by Southwest. It didn't happen, so it got delayed a bit for that. And we're still kind of waiting, especially with the 20th anniversary next month. So we're going to see what happens. And it definitely is going to be interesting to see where that goes and what other things they come out. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the other thing. In a lot of ways, I've mentioned just the fascination when you go into these classic elements. Or, I mean, go back to the Sega thing one more time with Panzer Dragoon. The thought of, if Panzer Dragoon 1 did well, which it did, I guess well enough to do in the second, can they rebuild Panzer Dragoon Saga? Can they do a remake? Panzer Dragoon Saga or Panzer Dragoon remake is so good. I agree. What system did you play it on? Because it's on a bunch of things. I have it on the Switch, but I know it's also on the PS4, the Xbox One, and I think it's on the PC as well. Actually, I remember Limited Run put out the pre-order of the PS4 physical edition, actually the day my limited edition copy of the Switch version came out, which was really nice. Switch. Yeah, I loved the way they did that, and that got my attention, because what they did is they put it into like a special edition of it where it comes in like a Sega Saturn long box. The kind of things that I'm almost afraid to, you know, touch it, because if you've ever handled long boxes on the Saturn or the Sega CD or the early days of the PS1, you know that basically they're extremely fragile. You could almost breathe on those things to, you know, and they'll, you know, crack. But still, just the idea of having that and that being an interesting way of delivering it, which I like. And the remake is terrific. Actually, I did briefly play for the Shooter Showcase the original, or okay, played the port of the Saturn version from the PC, which was in Panzer Dragoon Orta. So yeah, definitely kind of a long line there. But then I went to that, or went to the remake. The remake came after that. I remember really kind of appreciating that even more, and that's even with my experience with Panzer Dragoon Orta. So yeah, at some point we'll go back to Panzer Dragoon, because I only showed the first world off, because like, oh yeah, we're giving a taste of stuff, but eventually we'll go back to it. And then feasibly also to Panzer Dragoon 2. Which, actually, I would love to show the Saturn version off. I think my girlfriend would be absolutely ecstatic to show that off too, because A, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of representation on the Saturn as far as stream elements, and also because the tech of that. I've mentioned before that I expected the Saturn. It was mostly made as a 2D machine with a dual processor, where 3D was kind of a, not an afterthought, but was underpowered as far as the 3D was concerned. Not that game, though, because they used their own graphics technology, or they made their own graphic libraries for that. I remember looking at that, even in the context of when I first played it, which was last year, and I said, my god, this looks incredible. For 1996, even against stuff like Super Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot, which are terrific-looking 3D games from the same time, I'm thinking, yeah, the Saturn's a system that should not be able to handle 3D well. This game handles 3D incredibly well. It shows that idea of a system like that in any system, really, which is when you get people who are developing on it who really know how it works, and even take a risk of creating a graphics library when they had a ton of them they could use already. But yeah, they did it, and it looked incredible. And same with Panzer Dragoon Saga. I haven't played it, and it costs so much. I want a remake, so I think everybody does, just so we could get easier access to play it. But it looked incredible, too. All right, here we go. Now we're getting bigger. We're picking up the whirlpools. And I don't know if we can pick up the octopus up there, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, soon enough. We'll be back for you. I mean, in the meantime, I think at this point, the best option is really just pick up Row Island, or Row Islands. And eventually those clouds will come, too. Ooh, or I'll hit into them now. Alright, if you... Okay, that is the end of the boundary. I guess... Alright, I guess they put a... Oh, okay. I think I might remember this now, as far as how the PlayStation 2 version worked. Which is, I think... Chat, correct me if this isn't right. I think if you go out of the bounds that way and it goes to all white like that, I think you instantly end the mission. mission, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to chance it because we're almost there, and I just want to make sure that on this mission at least. Actually, one thing I guess we'll also do is, before we go to Mr. Driller Online, we will also... I'll come into this level again. I'll just try and go out in the water, as I am when I first enter it, and see if we can get into the, you know, the white area. Be right back. Okay, take your time, and as I mentioned, all the streams will be on YouTube eventually, so you will not miss anything, or, you know, everything will be set so you can see where we were at, you know, when you went off. But, yeah, take your time, and again, thank you for everything. Alright. Alright, the Picard building. I don't know if that's based on something from Japan. It probably is, but we'll see. Alright, we're almost there, so I think we should be good. As long as we get the mackerel building, the eel and goldfish building. Alright, so this is like Fish Island. Or this is like, I guess the... not the distillery, I guess this is like the fish processing area. Or reminds me of the Osaka seafood concern from that one episode of The Simpsons. Where a knife goes in, guts come out, and that's what Osaka seafood concern is all about. Which out of the context sounds wrong, but I was like, no, that's how they have to get the job for, you know, getting their way out. Alright, there's another town over there we can pick up. Yeah. It's usually I'm still screeching while in the water like that, but there you go. Oh, there we go. We got the gigantic octopus, and there we go. In fact, so next time I find the next one, we should be all good. Yeah, look at this. We're running up the whole damn world now where, yeah, that used to be a nice, tiny town, but, or sort of town, but there we go, and 21 minutes and 50 seconds. We have our Katamari for the moon. But we're gonna make it bigger. We are not done here yet. And hopefully we'll get big enough so that we can pick up the, actually, well, the clouds, alright. Yeah, and get, like, the Cloud God. Alright, so we're getting deities going on in here, and we're getting the nice storm clouds, the Oni rocks, and all this stuff, so, yeah, definitely weird stuff, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And with that, especially when you get to the point of the clouds, there you go. I think we are getting, like, the, you know, the nice sparkling stars on our Katamari, so this is going to be very, very nice. There we go, the toll bridge. Alright. Any massive bridges that you might be familiar with, yeah, we're rolling those up. There we go, the Typhoon. Let's go get that as well. That's kind of the other thing. Feasibly, you just kind of... okay, I can't get that yet, but soon enough. But you just see everything. Like, you want to roll up everything. And we're doing that. Okay, Cuttlefish Islands. There we go, the icebergs. If this is not the Titanic, we are not going to be stopped by these things. We're going to take them in. See if we can't get the nice mountain. There we go. All right. And again, I love that sense of scale. It's like we started small and you build up to this, and it is, you really get a sense of accomplishment, even though you're basically doing the same thing over and over, but it really gets you into that mindset and you're not minding it. It kind of reminds me of what I heard, the idea of the 30-second cycle, where basically it's, I think the guy, the developer of Halo kind of, I think coined this, which is the idea that you're for great games, you're basically doing the same thing every 30 seconds, but the game is so much fun, and the challenge is to make the game so much fun, you're not going to mind. I mean, feasibly, Protorova, to mention what you're saying, of what little I know of EverQuest, on one hand, you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, of just going around, attacking things, and picking up, you know, items, just moving, but because of the variety it offers, from what I've understood and what I've seen of it, that's how you keep playing. That's how you put so many hours into that game, or any game like that. It becomes that kind of compulsive thing where, yeah, you're totally into that aspect. Alright, so we have a minute left, and we are double what he wanted. So I think our father's gonna be very, very happy. Lol, why are you a developer? Well, I mean, yeah, my skills as far as things go into different ways. Oh, okay, by the way, before I answer that, when you do rolling too much, I didn't actually mention this. He gets tired, he says, whew. So, in that case, you can't roll or it kind of goes slower. But I guess to answer that question, yeah, that's not what I do, but as I said, this is the idea that gaming is a massive passion of mine, so if nothing else, I do want to show that. You know what? I've already gotten this up as big as we can. We're going to go into the light now. I can roll. Come on, let's roll. Or we just get blinded. Okay. Alright, I don't know if that was in the PlayStation 2 version, so yeah, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't do that. But if nothing else, I think it gives that perspective. I mean, my discussions for just understanding elements, because, yeah, I love gaming, but there's also aspects of it that, you know, I'm not necessarily developing, so there's that perspective. But here we go. 777 meters, 46 centimeters, and 1 millimeter for our Katamari of the Moon. We've forgotten what it is to be this thrilled. All right. The smell, the unique, the indescribable fragrance of the moon, our heart is racing. Almost there. Okay, we picked up 1,720 objects. And we got mostly plants. The nature and industry. Speaking of the why aren't you developer element, industry. When it gets this big, it's hard to tell what you have most of. Earth does have tons of things, and here we go, moon time. And there's the professional roller for 70 points of Make the Moon. I guess we're gonna get closure on, you know, everything. It's on the sky, on the kids and the family, and on us, you know. Oh, whoa! Hi, King of Cosmos, your big head. I did not notice that was there. Yeah, I could imagine, if any of you are familiar with the concept of the creepypasta, someone doing something with this face. Like, there he is. So yeah, after your drunken antics a few months ago, as it is, we got the moon back, and yeah, welcome back, moon. Good night, moon, eventually, as it's gonna be. And you did not work hard at all, you liar. But don't worry, the good news is that despite everything we did, and we'll see this in a second, I grew a tiny bit. I have more value. He loves me. And as you're going to see, the world is going to love us too. We are the champion, or we are the champions of the world. Oh yeah, Queen. I can't play, but I mean, well, at least I can reference it. Let's get cracking on that moon and see what's going on with the kids. Oh, we go. We're getting the Katamari Samba. Or the last Samba, as is, from the Katamari Samba group. Alright, so I guess these are all of the... Okay, no, that's, I guess, the actual names of the king and queen. And we did see the queen there. We will see her again when we come back to Katamari Damacy for We Love Katamari. In the meantime, we're getting our samba on, our dance on, and there we go. And thank you, indeed, for being able to put that together. And there is also the credit sequence of all the objects we collected. I'm trying to remember what the name of this track is. I think this is Katamari Love by Shigeru Matsuzaki, I think. But there we go. There are all the cousins, including one who's a soup ball. Or his head is a soup ball, anyway. And with that, I think we're basically done. The only thing I'm going to show is... Oh, right! I forgot! The credits! If you've ever played Super Smash Brothers, you know, the idea of, you know, the interactive credits screen. But here we go. We're going to roll up every country. And so we're having a holiday in Cambodia. We're going to North Korea, South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, everywhere else, the Solomon Islands. And there we go. We're going to Europe. We're picking up England, Ireland, Norway, Turkey, Iraq, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Poland. Yeah, this is definitely a global game. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Greenland. So basically, what you gotta do is just keep rolling stuff up while we get the nice credits and this nice piece of music. I don't remember if this gives you anything for rolling up everything, but it probably does. I don't think there's an achievement specific around it, but, well, actually, maybe the roll up every object on Earth might count for this. But I think it does give you an idea of, like, all the countries you pick up. It does look like there's a little bit of a delay with everything, but then again, I'm picking up every country I see. And also, you do not have a dash here. Yeah, this is indeed Katamari Damacy, the reroll. This is a good version. If you do not have it on the PlayStation 2 and can't or don't want to pick up a copy of it on that system, this is another good option for you, regardless of whether you get it on the Xbox One, the Switch, the PS4, or the PC. Though it is also cheap on the PS2 if you only have a PS2. Don't deny yourself. Or if you have a PS3, you can download the PS2 version for $10. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and you definitely have a weird but memorable time. And we're going to the Bahamas and Haiti. Just keep going, keep rolling all the countries up. And it is fun stuff, and again goes to this idea of, yeah, we're rolling up the world. I forgot that I meant that literally. See, it's been a while since I played this game. I played it last in 2005, but as far as this version anyway. But it's one of those things that come back to it to kind of it all came rolling back to me, and I really liked it. Then we go to San Marino and Liechtenstein. Uganda, Rwanda, so we hit up Africa. We've hit up basically everywhere. Did we hit North America yet? Alright, there's Brazil, so I guess we're kind of getting there. Okay, there we go. There's the US, there's Canada, there's China. Oh, there we go. There is Kuwait. Yeah, I didn't know Kuwait was that big. Okay, there we go. It's clipping through, which is fine. I mean, as I said, this game, you could say, well, you pull it apart on the tech elements, but it still runs at a nice frame rate. And also, it has a nice style. I've heard this compared to Legos. In a lot of ways, it kind of is like that. So in that way, it's nice. Actually, one other interesting thing, I guess, is that the credits are rolling downwards in this game. Usually they come up from the bottom, but yeah, Katamari Damacy is different that way. And you get that nice guitar riff. Almost sounds a little bit like going back into the music element. All the Young Dudes by Mott the Hoople, which was a band that had David Bowie involved. At least as far as the guitar stuff. And then I think we are almost done because we're at the director. Yeah, I think you pick up the tiny island. Yeah, there we go. So we got 167 countries, I think, unless I can hit anything else. Alright, at the end we got 174, 180 from Namco. Thank you very much for providing us this weirdness to Namco. Thank you very much for all the fun, this good remake, even with your end-user license agreement elements, which you thankfully didn't pull back or pull into Pokemon Snap, the new one, so thank you. Now I got closure with family. And now they're going to the moon. With the Astro. Hey, the sky isn't finished yet, says Mutsuo. Alright, let's see about that. Okay, that is make the moon. You can do make the moon again. Oh, right, there's the Eternal missions. You make a large Katamari, you play it in Eternal mode, you roll away without worrying about time. Right, I forgot about that. When you beat the game, and I think this is in the PS2 version as well, you get the option to basically roll around all you want with no time limit. Let me pick, you know what, let's, I want to go to one of the first Make a Star missions, because we're going to show what happens when, wait, no, not Make a Star one, I think this is the wrong one. Because what I want to do is, I want to pick one where I'm going to lose, and we're going to see what my father says to me. Or, oh. Okay, no, now this is going, hang on. Wait, is this the training mission? Oh, you know what? Let's sit around, let's not do anything. Let me take a nice drink of water then. Because I think this is where we went for the training mode, but I guess when you come back here or when you come back here later, you don't have anything. We get to hear more of Katamari on the rocks, but what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure I don't hit 10 centimeters because I want to intentionally fail. I mean, I guess in the meantime then, chat, what are we thinking about this Katamari Damacy elements? I mean, I had a fun time playing this so far. I guess what we're playing. I mean, we're almost done. So we're gonna do Mr. Driller, which is why I came back to it this way. The only reason I split it up was because I knew that the last couple missions were pretty long. Yeah, basically now I'm playing to not hit everything. It's weird. It's that idea of with this game, you get into that mindset with it, like, no, you want to roll up everything, but now I'm like, yeah, I have to basically fight the urge to roll stuff up. So like, yeah, I'm playing this game without hitting stuff. Although, eventually, I guess you can't play it without hitting stuff. So let's go under the table again and see... Oh, okay. There's the, I guess the woman who's at the breakfast table there. And I guess you can see, there. So let's see, there is the Not NES again and the Not TurboGrafx 16 again. Okay, we can't get the hue cards, but yeah, that is what this is kind of like. I mean, because you pick them up, they look like the hue cards as opposed to, I guess, the memory card. Oh, looking at this. It's actually more themed after the PlayStation 2, which would make sense because this was a PlayStation 2 game initially. And it was, there was not a non-Sony version of this game until Beautiful Katamari on 360 in 2007. Oh, hey! I just saw one of my cousins. Let me roll them up. Oh, or you're gonna fight me. Okay. you know, maybe I'll have to be bigger. Okay, I kind of want to get him. Because I know in We Love Katamari, you can roll up the cousins, and then they become playable characters in the single player. In this one, they're not. They're only for the multiplayer. Which I didn't remember when we played it first, but then I looked back and I realized, okay, that's what it was. But I guess also the other thing to mention when we do We Love Katamari. While We Love Katamari is an interesting case, and talking about, you know, the idea of going back to a series like this and the thought of, hey, will Namco do something else with this? We Love Katamari for PlayStation 2 does have a feature to it, and I can show this off when we play it. If you have a save file for Katamari Damacy on your memory card for that, you can put it in and you'll have all of the moon planet data you picked up from this game that you can use for the main element of that, which is I think you have to roll up the sun at the end of that game. And to get it really big, I think you can do it quicker than the game would normally have you do it by just rolling up from the We Love Katamari game alone. So when we do that, we will show that off, and that's also something that people are wondering, like, because of that, would they necessarily do a We Love Katamari reroll? Not yet they haven't, feasibly, but I would love to see another one of these. Okay, we're at 7, but don't worry, we're not at 10, so within 25 seconds, we're going to get a stern talking to from our father, most likely. But at this point, I don't feel bad with that one, because, you know, we did what we were doing. We rolled up the moon, we saved everything, we're all good. Now let's just roll up the mosquitoes. Dead mosquitoes, as it looks like. And with that, all right, let's roll the dice then with what's going on with our father. We hit, here we go. Yeah, and yeah, I'm on my knees begging for forgiveness. He's making it rain. I have, you know, the worried look. Oh, whoa, look at that. Our eyesight is the best in existence. But where your Katamari is, we cannot tell. And you can also see there as, like, the lightning flashes, you, like, see his arms, like, in different places. Now he's... Oh, Jesus, he's, like... You know, he's giving, like, the Frankenstein monster look. Oh, boy. Alright, is this perhaps because it's so small? So minuscule? Yeah, feasibly so. Aha, yes, we understand. The current trend, this minimalist craze, yeah, I mean, that was 15, 16 years ago. Still, I guess, the case of minimalist... Oh, Jesus, you see his skeleton. Okay, I never even noticed that detail. Alright. This is something that had to be tried by the prince. Yeah, I definitely did try it. Of course you did. Being the trendy sort of prince. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not my father, clearly. I mean, I don't get drunk and destroy space the way he does. And now I'm getting rained on. But... Well, we do not acknowledge trendy princes. Oh boy, yeah. Please go away now. Go, go, go. Goodbye. Alright, so he's very angry. So with that, you fail the mission when you do that, and you have to start it over. That's also the reason I picked one of the smaller ones. But I guess with that, let's take a quick look at the Eternal mode, and then we're going to play Mr. Driller. And... yeah, we'll look at the Eternal mode, because I forgot that was a part of this. Alright, celebration, celebrations. Reward for making Katamari big, you roam the earth to your heart's content. Eternally forever. Alright, let's see how this works. We probably won't go forever. I'm back. Alright, we just saw, you know, I intentionally failed the first mission to get the prince to be, you know, scolded by his father with the rain clouds and all that, and it was weird as anything. So, what we're gonna do before we take a look at, Mr. Drill Online, because we did roll up the moon, it was, 777 meters. It was, a little over double what we had. I'm gonna take a quick look at what opens when you got here, which is, I guess, the Eternal mode. And I also see one other thing. Okay, we hit start button. It's either go back to home planet. Okay, so I guess feasibly, and I don't remember, chat, remind me if this was in the PlayStation 2 version or not, if you're familiar with it, because it's been so long ago since I played it, I don't remember. If you had Eternal Mode A, which I think you did, I know We Love Katamari had it, its sequel, and also how that worked. Okay, so there he is in his garden, the father guy, me on television live here, and tissue boxes. Yeah, you know, Actually, you know, before I end this, I want to go underneath, because when I did the last mission, I did see one of the cousins underneath the table. I just want to see if he's still there, and if not, we're going to save this, and we're going to take a look at Mr. Driller. Or Mr. Driller Online, because it is a different game. It is not the same as the other one. We'll get into that in about 3 minutes, or maybe less than that. Alright, Kuma's Bear. So, Bear, as we mentioned last time. Alright, so, and then we got Hanko, which I don't know what that is. It looks like, I guess it's like a candy or a cigarette? I don't know. This did have a tobacco reference on the back of the box as far as the descriptor of its E rating, but, I don't know. Alright, so we're gonna quit this. Go back to the home planet. Okay, and when you quit in Eternal Mode, it gives you a sizing. Actually, let me just check one last thing with that, and I guess it looked like they only put that on one mission. They put it on this one. Okay, to Moon Memorial. Okay, all the cousins, of which there are a lot of them. We'll see them more when we do Wheel of Katamari. That will be the next time we come back to this series. But, okay, before we go, let's take a look at the Moon Memorial. Right, you unlock this for beating the game. You get all of the cinematics for it, the credits. I guess you can try rolling up all the countries again, because that's another thing we did. We rolled up the world as far as that, but then we rolled up every actual country in the world. And so you get all the chapters as far as that. North Star. Did I miss something? Let's see. I don't think so. Alright, yeah, I don't remember what North Star is. If it's something different and I forgot about it, I'll bring it up on a future stream. Oh! Okay, here it is. Alright, so we're not done. We have to make the North Star. Alright, I missed something. So let's make the North Star, which is, they say, you see it in the sky, it'll help you find your way home. Well, let's do it. Learn that the hard way. For some reason, we don't feel comfortable. But there's no sensor, no belly button. Yeah, spoken with a guy whose bulge we can see. I didn't actually bring that up, but yeah, that is, yeah, you're not, gone blind. You didn't miss that. Alright, so, we're gonna build the North Star. And I guess this will be where we end, and then we do Mr. Driller. Okay, so, good thing I checked that. Who knows why, but we wanna... Right, okay, I remember what this mission is. And this is where I was thinking where you had certain missions or extra missions where you could, you know, quit whenever you wanted. I think you need to quit this either right at or close to it, and I think you get more points or more of a, you know, approval from your father or for the king of all the cosmos as is if you get it as close to 10 meters as possible. And I don't think this goes on the Price is Right logic, which is that if you get it with going over, you're going to be screwed, but we'll see how this takes. Alright, they don't tell you how big it is as far as that indicator. We'll show you what 10 millimeters looks like. Okay, so all we have is that silhouette to go off of. And when your Katamari is at 10 meters, summon us by hitting X. And we'll yeah, fitting they're playing You Are Smart on this one as far as the music. Because, like, well, hopefully we are smart. Alright. Okay, so this will then be the last challenge we have, and then Mr. Driller Online. Alright, so I guess then... I guess the key to telling this is... know the sizes of what you pick up, or feasibly... how big your Katamari needs to be in the game to pick up some of this stuff. So I'm picking up people. So I'm feasibly right now at 1.5 meters. Because I know it's around 1.5 meters when you start picking people up. Although it sometimes depends, and also, depending on the people, they'll be knocked off course. We noticed that, you know, we've been seeing that happen a lot. So I basically just have to do a guess on how big this is. And so we'll roll a little bit, feasibly just picking people up, till I can get a sense of, alright, where are we at 10, and when we hit close enough to 10, then I will hit the X button, and we'll build our North Star. But yeah, that is one of the challenges they give you in this, and that is also, I think they have something similar to this in We Love Katamari. I know We Love Katamari gives you a little more variety to this in some ways, because they have unique missions in that as far as really trying to change this formula up even more, which is, alright, you're building like a big bonfire, or you're rolling a big snowball to put together for a snowman. Also, actually, one thing I forgot to mention also with You Are Smart, now that I'm remembering, is that this song, I believe it samples sound effects from old Namco arcade games. I believe there's clips in here from Gaplus, amongst other things, I think. Which would make sense because there is a lot of, you know, Namco, other franchise branding across, well, games of this time, but also within this game. I noticed the nod to Tekken, and I think there was another nod to something else. Alright, there's the sumo guy. I don't think that's close to 10 yet. The cow is not there. There's the roast on the bone. Pylons and mailboxes. Alright. Okay, picking these up, I know that's not 10. Actually, no, it's probably not 10 because, yeah, actually, technically, I just realized we've kind of been in the same place all night, in the sense that we're in this little town by the school, and then we go up over on the side. Let's go in here and play around, pick up the pandas and take the baseball team. Alright, so there's the outfielder, the batter, the bench warmer, the pitcher, all of them, and, okay, it looks like the umpire, but, no, it's not. Alright, the sumo bout. Alright, let's see what else we have, and then when we get close to 10, I'll hit X and we can, get knocked from the car, for sure. Or take a roll over to the barbershop, get the nice barber's ball. I always like that kind of, the red, white, blue color as far as those, just seeing them. Alright, let me see something. I think, yeah, we'll see how this, okay, we got stuck. I don't know if there's anything else big to roll. I know we're not near 10, but I'm actually kind of tempted to, stop now just to see. Well, actually, you know what, let's, for good measure, let's roll up the nice Taiko Drum Festival. Roll off, grab the Balloon Man, and then go in the water quickly. And you can't drown, by the way, because you just have that snorkel, so you're all set. Imagine the idea of drowning was a thing. Alright, there we go. It's not 10, but we'll deal. We're not certain. Yeah, I'm not either. I know it's not, because I know there's certain things you pick up at 10. Alright, 5, so about halfway, but really not at all. What is this? You rushed it. I did that on purpose. Life in the way too fast lane. Yeah, any fans of the Eagles would be happy to hear that. I mean, and me as one of them, I will be too. Well, we'll turn to a star. We puny or start best, but again, yeah, you're gonna just have to squint very specifically to find your way home now. There we go, the Polaris Observer for creating the North Star. And we're gonna feel the cosmos one more time.
コスモを感じるわ。北極星がとうとう復活したのね。もう何も迷わないわ。
Yeah, you'll never be physically lost again. Oh, another, in-your-face shot of the king. Alright, so, there we go, we are exhausted. Not yet, we're not. The sky's done, the sky's complete, we're tired, rolling the Katamari is very hard. It wasn't that hard. Well, it's hard for us as well. Watch everything is hard, it's boring, half asleep, we go to bed. Okay, yeah, not yet, it's 8 o'clock. Today will be a party day, especially as the prince is finally 2 centimeters taller. Must celebrate. Mother, we need cake. Okay, so I guess we're going to be getting our nice cake celebration, and we're seeing the last Samba again. There he is in the night outfit. And over on the left with the flower basket over there is the Queen of all the Cosmos. We'll see that. And we'll see the Carpety Beetles, praising my victory. I told you this game is strange, but I love it for that. Oh, right, when you do this, we're gonna fly all over the Earth with our father. And actually, one other thing to go into is that when we do wheel up Katamari, because we created the moon, the idea in the earlier cutscenes was the fact that, ooh, okay, that looks a little more menacing, but the kids were right. They knew what was going on. Everybody else didn't, but in the next game, everybody knows who the prince and the king are. They know what Katamari Damacy is, and we're going to basically be doing them, you know, favors. They're going to ask us for things they want to see, and that's going to be how the next game is going to turn out when we play it. And I guess also we're going to get, we're going to be able to do the credits again. Okay, that was the size of the moon. That was not the size of this. But there are the cousins once more. I want to see if it's going to ask me to do this, or also if I could skip this, because I did do it before, where basically what you do is, during the credits, okay, they did, you pick up the countries, so we got Nauru and Kiribati and the Federated States of Micronesia. Okay, I can start to skip it. Alright, so, there we go. So, alright. With that, that is Katamari Damacy Reroll. It is a good re-release of this game. It is a weird, strange game. It is a fun one. Again, if you can go get down with how weird the game is and adjust elements of its controls, I think you're going to have a good time with just how intriguing, compulsive, and strange it is. And it is some terrific music, which I cannot recommend highly enough listening to. So what we're going to do is going to save this in the NA element, because you can save it there. Oh, no, we're going to save it. Actually, one thing I guess I'm noticing is it's taking a little long to load that save, but there we go. And we're going to quit the game. So we'll see you again, and when we see you again, as far as Katamari Damacy is concerned, we will be playing We Love Katamari for the PlayStation 2. And we're going to use the save file I still have from the PS2 version to help elements of that. But alright, there you go. Game start, select profile. What to do is going to hit up the guide button. Actually, one thing we'll do, let's take a look at the achievements. Okay, I only have 2 that I'm missing. I mentioned this is not a hard game. Get them all. But the other 2 that we didn't get were collecting all the presents, and then this one, King of Katamari Damacy, which is you have to roll up every item in the game. That's the rare one because only 0.83% of gamers who played this game on the Xbox One have this. This one's a little rare too, but not too much. But everything else is good, and there we go. So there's our achievement selection. That's also how they are for the trophies on PS4. But what we're going to do is we'll come to Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed in 2 weeks. But next, we're going to be playing Mr. Driller Online. This came out in 2008 for the Xbox 360. It was a downloadable game. You could play it also using the Namco Museum Virtual Arcade. I downloaded this game specifically, so I don't need the Namco Museum Virtual Arcade disc to play this. The thing about that disc is weird with the backwards compatible on this system is that it will only entitle you to the Xbox Live Arcade side of things, and also in that case, you don't get to play Xevious from that. Oh yay, okay, so you're looking forward to the Mr. Driller elements. Yeah, this is the online version from 2008, which is not the same as the original game, which came out in 1999 in the arcade. It was actually technically going to be the third Dig Dug game, and then they ported it to the Dreamcast and the PlayStation. I never played that one. I downloaded this one because I was like, okay, I never played that version, let me get this. This is actually, here's the thing about this game, you know, we're going to try to see if there's anyone with the online. There wasn't when I checked, but I just want to see something. Okay, there's no one here. But I also want to bring that up because when this game came out, the whole point is like this had an online component for its multiplayer. It didn't work. In fact, actually, there are a lot of game critics at the time who roasted this game on the back of the fact that its multiplayer didn't work. In fact, I remember in particular, GameSpot, I should say, they actually nominated this for the worst game of 2008 alongside Dark Messiah of Might and Magic Elements for the 360, Emergency Mayhem for the Wii, the History Channel Battle for the Pacific for the 360, and the game that ended up winning, which was Eminem's Kart Racing for the DS, and there's also a Wii version of that one, I believe. But yeah, they nominated this as worst game of that year because of the fact of its online. Yeah, I guess nowadays, I don't know how they would be taking that, or depending on whether it's a certain thing, because I mean, remember, something like Diablo 3 came out, its online was mostly non-functional right away, and they didn't get that mad about it. Or even SimCity, when that came out, or the online one, the 2013 entry. I mean, eventually went to that, and same also with Fallout 76, which apparently is working better now, from what I understand, but I haven't played it. Point is that, yeah, the online element didn't work. At the time, I wasn't doing much with online as far as 360, and this is backwards compatible on Xbox One, and Series S and X, if you have that too. So, we're going to play this game a little bit. Now, here's the deal with this one. Let me know, chat, if you've got memories with this game, either this version or any other ones. I think this is only on the 360 as far as this version. There are other ones. I know that the original is on the PS1 and the Dreamcast. I think the PS1 was on the PlayStation Classic unit, weirdly enough. There's also a port of this, I think it was Mr. Driller Drill Land, which came on the Switch last year. I think it was on the GameCube initially. There's been a bunch of versions of this, and it was supposed to be the third game in the Dig Dug franchise, and here's how you know, because Taizo, remember him? Yeah, Dig Dug guy from the original game. He's the father of Susumu, who is the main character of this game. That's this guy here. And basically what you do, this is nothing like Dig Dug, which I guess is fitting for the sequels to Dig Dug, because there's the original, which I have in the Namco collection. Actually, it is the Virtual Arcade I haven't. I do need that disc to play it. But there's that one. There's Dig Dug 2, which is also in that collection. So when we play that, we'd be running it through the 360, because that's in the museum side of things, which does not play on the Xbox One. But that was kind of like a top-down game of sorts, and then it kind of goes into it. My experience with Mr. Driller goes back on the PlayStation. Okay. I heard it was kind of similar to it on the Dreamcast, because those were porting directly from the arcade. And that was also, I guess, an interesting case at the time when there were a lot of arcade ports that Namco and other companies like Capcom were making. They're on Dreamcast and PS1, and that was how they're kind of comparing. I never played it on the Dreamcast. I'd assume that's the best version for tech reasons, but then again, from what I've understood, it seems like it's pretty comparable outside of the graphics, but even then, still plays and looks good for PlayStation standards. But yeah, this is my experience, this 360 release, which is sort of the same. You have your selection characters here, who have different elements, including air and speed. We'll get into what those are. And they also have special abilities of being able to survive one block, climb up 2 blocks, destroying blocks quickly, which is fitting with Dig Dug Man. And you get 2 modes. We'll show off a couple of these, and then we'll also show what the quest mode is. Let's start in India. I have the Switch one now. Yeah, the Driller Land. How is that? I have not played it. I did not know that it was on the Switch, actually, until probably just today. The way this game works, by the way, if you're not familiar, is that you walk around with your Driller Man, or woman, or robot, as it was, or dog, anyway. You walk around, you just drill down, hitting the A button in this case, and you click those air elements, because your air is going down as we go down the shaft. And if you drill into this, it takes 5 drills to go into it. But yeah, that toxic gas comes out, and you're going to be hurting. Also, you want to be careful not to get crushed by these blocks. If you do, you have your lives lost, and that's going to be a game over. I mean, I'm going a little slow now, but we'll go later. It's like a theme park. In the way it looks, yes. Actually, that's kind of the Katamari Damacy element, and in a weird way, I'm kind of seeing why it's a good reason to be pulling out. That treasure, by the way, it pulls out a random piece of treasure. I got the bubble, so now hit X, you're the boy in the plastic bubble. And basically what that means is that anytime something falls on me, I'll be protected. I won't die from it. So feasibly I could use that, and I'll keep going either until I die. Also, there's the, I guess like the Rally X flag, although they don't have the sound effect for that, the doo-doo-doo-doo. But, yeah, we'll get to Rally X eventually. Probably when we do either one of the Namco collections that has it, or something else. But yeah, you keep drilling down, you get to 100 meters, boom, you're done. At least on this one, we're done. That's the goal, but that's the easy element of how this game goes. It gets a lot more complicated, for sure, particularly when you put in the quest element. And it does saving elements. It has your gamer score. Let's see what my friends are doing. Alright, only Mr. St. Aspartame, who is definitely a gaming legend, or in the words of Hermes from Futurama, is a true inspiration to the children. Yeah, I wonder if he's seen the stream. At some point I'll have to point him to that, because I think he'd like this idea. Anyway, yeah, I guess I played this game a little more than he has, but, there you go. Yeah, so that's the standard drilling mode. We're going to try a little more complicated. Let's go. And they also have an infinite mode as well. It took me a while to get through a lot of these, because this game gets pretty difficult as you go on. In fact, we'll do 1,000, so we're going to go to Egypt. And it fits, again, with the Katamari Damacy element, because, yeah, like first you're saying, it's like a theme park as far as, like, some of the candy-coated elements of it, and just the idea of, like, alright, it looks like, yeah, we're on a vacation this way. And I guess fitting with Katamari Damacy with that element of it being a Namco game, and also the idea that it's music where it kind of has this kind of relaxed vibe to it, and heavy use of, like, strings and horns as far as it. So it reminded me of that. The Switch game is apparently a port of the GameCube version. Yeah, we didn't get that GameCube version here. And that was interesting, because it's funny, I was in discussion with this with some people. Actually, my mom, actually, because I was talking to her recently about Tetris Attack. And I was mentioning that it was ported to the GameCube via the Nintendo Puzzle Collection, which also had, had that. It had Yoshi's Cookie, it had Dr. Mario. We didn't get those in the US. It came out in Japan, but not here. And maybe the thought is, I guess, I know it's Namco, not Nintendo. Uh-oh. I thought I was getting crushed. Alright, I might get crushed now. At some point I'll show getting crushed off, but yeah, we didn't get that on GameCube, so I mean, I guess there's something about, you know, puzzle games on that system that we didn't get a lot. Also, that is the most useful item you can see right there. That little, I guess, meter with the arrows on it. Hit that, your air meter goes up by 5%. And you're gonna want that because your air goes down very, very fast as you keep going down the chute like this. They just keep drilling and keep going, but as you go left and right, you see those blocks going down and they fall down and they make little chains of combos. So it is a puzzle game in a way, but it also, it's funny, it is a puzzle game as far as how it plays and the idea of, okay, I have to think about the fact that, oh yeah, that's dropping there, that's dropping down here, I make a chain that way, and I get more points. But I also have to think, in some ways, like, it's more of like a Twitch game, too, in the sense that Twitch of pressing buttons, like a Twitch button pressing game. Like, yeah, I'm hitting that A button, I'm not sure if you're hearing that, just to keep drilling. And again, doing that to make sure that I don't die either by asphyxiation from that air meter going down, or getting crushed to death by something. One thing I'm going to do before I pick that up is I'm going to use that full to get full air out. And as I go down further, it's going to go down a lot faster. So, and you don't want to drill those things when you get to that point. Whoa. And the other thing you want to do is when you're drilling down, you see those blocks up there, you know, coming off the side. What you want to do is you want to make sure they're going to fall next to, adjacent to other blocks of the same color, so they don't come down and crush you. But every so often, you also get these sections where you have just two colors, and you can get massive chains and massive points on them, and often get massive, you know, items picked up, including that one, which is the shoes, which actually I got two of them. They'll make you go faster. I believe they don't stack, because basically you're just going to move left and right faster for that, but for the purpose of that, yeah, it's not going to really do much for us. So basically just keep doing this until you get down to the bottom, and it looks like it might be a little easy, but because of how the air element goes, and also because of the fact that, yeah, if you're not careful, you can get yourself crushed. It's not easy. I mean, we'll also go into the achievement side of things with this one, which I have everything as far as the single player is concerned with one exception, which is the hardest one. And I've tried for years to get it, and it is not coming. And you'll see why in a little bit, because we're going to show off the quest mode. It has to do with that. In the meantime, just keep going down and keep drilling and keep enjoying the nice music and the nice candy-colored graphics, which, yeah, I mean, from what I remember, and I guess Selectverse let me know if this is the case or not, though this is not a port of the arcade, PS1, or Dreamcast version, it kind of has elements with some of, I guess, like with the character animation a little, but I don't know necessarily if maybe they look better in that. I don't think this game was like rocking 3D elements with its graphics. It's sprite-based as far as that. So, I mean, I don't think the Dreamcast, PS1, and arcade versions were. I mean, maybe Drill Land is the one on GameCube and Switch. You know, okay, yeah, my air's getting down. We get to that point, you hear that siren again, like Katamari Damacy, so that's why I'm playing this with it. You just pick up those air canisters, which are worth 20 a pop, so in that case, like, you want to keep an eye on that. And I'm doing okay so far, because I haven't died, but that's going to change soon. And okay, I'm not going to be able to get that air thing. What you want to do with those X blocks, you want to get them to fall in a certain pattern so that they'll clear. Oh, I'm going to probably get killed. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm going to see my first death. Yeah, there we go. And I'm dead. And you get the little, you know, angel taking me away. Or me going up like that. But I do have an extra life, or 2 extra lives. 0 does not count as life, by the way, in this game, so keep that in mind. And when we get to quest mode, there's going to be parts where that's not going to matter, and we're going to show that off as we go. And I guess, like, first let me know, on the PlayStation, and feasibly Dreamcast and Arcade, again, did it have quest mode? Are the modes the same across these two versions? I'm pretty sure the Switch one has some different elements. And I guess, would you recommend the Switch game? I probably would get it just because, well, I do like this game. And it is a unique take on puzzle game. You were mentioning last week with Tetrisphere, which I was actually able to get a copy of it with the instruction manual, so at some point we will go to Tetrisphere. But, oh, whoa, that was close. Yeah, sometimes you get in those close calls like that. Also, I need to get more air, and I hopefully got to drop those down so I can do that. It's not going to happen, though. That's usually what they do with the air canisters. They put them around these, so You either have to take a risk of drilling your way into them to hurt yourself, or lose your air, or I'm just going to say screw it and try to get to the bottom. Okay, no. Yeah, because the target on this, we're almost, I think, at the end of this one, because this is, I think, 1,000. I didn't pick one of the hard ones yet. Whoa, whoa! Okay, yeah, I didn't pick one of the harder ones yet, as far as you're going down, 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 down. Uh-oh. Also, the rocks, right there, they will not connect for blocks, and you want to be careful of those. You got this. Alright, thank you. To be fair, I'm gonna say I kind of think that anyway with how I'm playing it or the mission I selected. You know what, I'll also show the harder one to show that, yeah, I don't got that, for sure. I mean, I've been trying to get that achievement for the Arctic Driller. Yeah, that's not happening. That is insanely difficult. And we'll show that with the quest mode, because you have to complete 50 of those without dying. Oh, shit! Speaking of which, yeah, there we go. Alright, we got a game over. I guess I don't got this. But alright, when you do die, and you get there, okay, he collapses there, he's in tears because he almost got to the end, but we'll try again elsewhere. They give you the technical driller points, the item points, I guess the drill points, and I think they give you a target time based on how long it takes you to get down there. But yeah, we're gonna try that again. I believe for the standard drilling mode, I think it... I don't remember if it takes your score, or if it takes... Either it takes your score total, or it takes your, you know, cumulative score off of every time you've played it. You know what? Alright, fine. We're gonna go back into the thousands. Then we're gonna show the quest mode off, and they'll show... Within the quest mode, I'll also show them the really hard mission to show why, yeah. Yeah, that was me getting the, you know, reckless... Oh, yeah, right there. In that case, like, I almost was reckless again. That's... Yeah, I got snaked. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, not the Konami element, but it was like, yeah, I got crushed, and yeah, I flew away. And, I guess off-screen we had, you know, Mr. Driller guy going... Mr. Driller, or Susumu, respond! Susumu! Susumu! And they're like, well, alright, there you go. But yeah, we're not gonna make that same mistake. But that does show, if nothing else, it shows the idea of how this game operates, and that can be the most, you know, frustrating thing. When you get down so close to the end, and you're like, oh yeah, you get game over. Especially in the mission mode, or the quest mode as it is, because you get little missions of things you do. There's some of those, if you make one mistake, you lose all of your lives, even if you're like 3 of them. If you fail certain missions, I think that's one, and we'll probably see this, you go through it without losing a life. You lose a life, even if you have 3 lives, you lose all of them, and you're done. So yeah, it's very unforgiving that way, if you're not careful. But it is easy to get into as far as a game, and as we've said a lot of times with puzzle games in some ways, oftentimes it's usually that easy to learn, hard to master thing, or if it's a compulsive experience enough, as was the case with Katamari Damacy, that you're going to be engrossed enough that, yeah, even though I lost to that, I'm not going to be complaining too much, and I'll want to keep going. I think the great sights, sounds, and aura of this kind of fit to this, and I think in a lot of ways, I guess, I don't think this is was officially a Dig Dug spin. I mean, the idea, or sequel, or, I mean, it's in the Dig Dug extended universe, let's just put it that way. But in spite of that, I don't think this is actually an official sequel the way Dig Dug 2 was, and it plays, but it inevitably plays differently, but still, I think that unique element of this being another element, because I can't think of another puzzle game that plays anything like this, aside from the other games in the series, but outside of that, that's really it. And I was kind of going back to that, I'll go back to what I was saying as far as, like, what I'm hoping to see from E3 is, like, what are the next original IP elements going, which are and in a way, this game was kind of that when it came out. It always looked interesting to me. Despite all the games I have on the Dreamcast, I didn't play it. So yeah, it kind of passed me by, and actually it is pretty expensive now as far as Dreamcast collecting goes. So, I don't know if I'd be able to specifically get that version. I mean, I might go for the Switch one at some point. Just because of the curiosity of it, and I guess it's a GameCube game we didn't get here. But I guess it was popular enough, and it did create enough of an intrigue with people that, yeah, they really like it. I mean, even at the time, like, people saying, like, they're kind of getting into the idea of, like, yo, drill, Mr. Driller, drill, as they keep going down. I was like, yeah, keep doing this. And actually, from what I just... Oh. I was, like, waiting for the air canister, and then I got crushed, so it didn't help me much. But I remember, actually, I think, yeah, it was the Stop Skeletons for Fighting channel, which is an interesting one as far as, like, retro gaming weirdness. So in that case, knowing me, it's right up my alley. he was going in, the guy, Uncle Derek as it is, and producer Grace. But anyway, they were going into elements of Dreamcast, accessory usage. And I think with Mr. Driller, it was a case where I think pretty much every accessory that the Dreamcast has is in some way, shape, or form usable with the Dreamcast version of Mr. Driller. I believe the mouse is usable. I believe the keyboard is usable, which I do have the keyboard. I'm going to do that at some point because I'll let you in on this one. And this is going to be also on my girlfriend needs to be in on this because she loves this game too. I have Typing of the Dead on the Dreamcast. We're going to play that game because that is... I was talking House of the Dead. I guess it's fitting it's coming back up again. That is amazing. That is one of those... Talk about that clever game, the kind of game that... And same sort of like Katamari Damacy is like, who in their right mind would necessarily think that we're going to take... Okay, because... well, here, imagine the pitch meeting on that game, which is... Let's... someone at Sega, someone at, I think it was Smilebit who did that game, said, you know, let's take House of the Dead 2... Oh, okay, good. So I can step up that way. Let's take House of the Dead 2, this great arcade shooter of Sega's. Let's utilize the Dreamcast keyboard and make it so that... Oh, shit. Alright. Alright, I got 3 more, so I should be good. Well, if I'm careful, I should be good. But then... Okay, going back to the pitch meeting idea of saying, like, let's take House of the Dead 2, let's use the Dreamcast keyboard and turn it into a typing game. I mean, most people have said, you are fucking nuts, get the hell out of my office. Not Sega. Sega said, yeah, let's make this game. And they did, and it is glorious, let me tell you. It's games like that that are why I love this industry so much, why I love gaming so much, because where else would you be able to have a game like that? No, I don't want to fail this again. Right, can I... Oh, no. Oh, there's another one. Okay, get that one. But still I'm in trouble. But where else would you be able to have a game like... Yeah, we're typing with zombie... Oh, shit. Alright. See, this is giving me worse trouble than I was expecting. Alright, we'll do one more time, then we'll go to quest mode. Because this should... Again, I just have to buckle down. I'm just getting, you know, excited about other games that I have and could potentially show off. And with Typing of the Dead is the case. I have one of the Dreamcast keyboards, and I have an adapter that actually lets me use my PS2, by which I don't mean PlayStation 2, I mean like the PS/2 keyboards, like from my old Gateway PC from like 2000. So I could do 2-player with that game, and yeah, the fact that you're saying all these weird things for like killing zombies, you're just typing out the letters, and with the last letter of a sentence, they're dying, and it's amazing. And that's an experience. But I was just saying, I guess with Mr. Driller, it uses a lot of elements of the Dreamcast as far as accessory. I think you can even use the fishing rod, which I also have, by the way, for the Dreamcast, so we can show that off at some point. Feasible when I do Sega Marine fishing. I think if I do Sega Bass fishing, and we want to do actually the 360 version of that because of the better frame rate. But still, definitely some interesting stuff. And the fact that Mr. Driller is like, yeah, he's the jack of all trades with Dreamcast accessory usages. And I'm gonna guess on the PlayStation as well, you can at least probably use the mouse. I think you could use the mouse on the Dreamcast version. So, just that idea of it. On 360, not so much. Although I think you can plug a mouse into the system and use it for certain things, but I don't know if for that game, uh-oh. Oh, I have the fast drilling item. Let's use that. I guess that's the other thing you want to do with this game, which is kind of, you're saying, I got snaked. You want to snake around a little bit when you see, you know, air canisters and try and think, okay, they're usually surrounded by those, you know, those dirt mounds or whatever they are. And you want to say, like, okay, how do I clear that out? How do I make it so I get a couple of those? And also hope that you get, I guess, an air item on this, because it is random what items they give you. Oh, I don't want to hit the rock. Made that beeping. Actually, yeah, wait, it is like Katamari Damacy, because you hear that doo-doo when you get down to, you know, everything, but like, at this point, it's like, you know, if I don't get that, I'm gonna die. Or to quote the movie Moonstruck, Cosmo, you just gotta know, no matter what you do, you're gonna die, just like everyone else. Which I unfortunately say with a heavy heart today with the death of Olympia Dukakis, the actress from that movie, who played, Loretta Castorini, or, yeah, Loretta Castorini from that movie. But, yeah, 89, quite a run for her, and, to quote that movie, well, she definitely did a good job because she knows who she is, or I know who I am. And just so many, I mean, I sometimes go into movie tangents, like, let's just go into that one just quickly because of that. Because I've been thinking about that way as well. And just thinking about just the idea of, like, you know, all the unbelievably quotable elements of that movie. I mean, I quoted when we did Star Fox a few weeks ago of the idea of it costs money to save money. Or even her idea of, like, the idea of, like, why do men chase women? And the idea of when she finally gets the answer she's looking for. Oh, okay, that was close. I think she asks Johnny Camerari, played by the also late and also great actor Danny Aiello, saying, you know, why would a man need more than one woman? To which she then says, I don't know. Maybe because he fears death. And then she's like, yeah, she understands, like, no, that's it. That's the reason. Yeah, that is quite something. I mean, it's definitely a different taste, but you're not going to hear many other streams that talk about that movie and mention the idea of Wimpy Dukakis, who was a wonderful actress, and ooh, I thought I was going to get out of that. But in some ways, I guess it goes to some of these elements of the discussion, also because, yeah, I've explained elements of this game. I could be repetitive saying some of these things, but I'm not going to be. And I'm also going to be a little more careful this time so we can get to the end without me dying or getting crushed. We're almost there, feasibly. Come on, no! Alright, there's the fast drill item. Oh, that was close. Okay, that's there. There we go. Just so at least the air comes right down on me. Alright, there we go. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to be getting to the same... Oh, you know, Oh, okay, no, okay, now I can do it. Yeah, usually what you want to do is you want to wait so you can climb up. Actually, there are certain characters that you can pick who can climb up 2 blocks. Unfortunately, Susumu is not one of them because he is, you know, just normal Mr. Driller Man. There's another one. Let me try and go get it. Oh, shit. Alright. Alright. I think we're going to show the quest mode off. I might come back to show something off of this. That being said, no, okay, now that's the gamer tag thingy. Let's pull that out. Actually, before we do that, let me just pull out the achievements to show that, yeah, at one point I had skills. 2009, when I got the last achievement out of this game that I've had. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, complete the America stage, 500 meters, drill 5,000 blocks, create 30 chain blocks, or do it 30 chain with blocks. Complete Egypt stage of 1,000 meters, which was that one I was trying to do, so we're getting pro Mummy Driller by proxy again. Brainy Quest Genius, which is complete 10 quests consecutively, obtain 50 air capsules, and complete the Russia stage. And the other one is, yeah, we're not seeing this one, dig 5,000 meters in the North Pole stage, and then the online ones, which are win 10 consecutive solo battles, tag battles, beat the opposing team in tag battle by 200,000 points, and win 20 consecutive solo and tag battles. So go, that is your achievement element with this game. No, let's pull out, Dig Dug Man, Mr. Taizo. Let's go to Quest Driller. Let's start. Let's go for that. Here we are in Germany. Going in front of the nice castles of Munich and all that. So here's how this works. They give you a little mission over there. It says there, create a chain. The way to do this, you just kind of zigzag around, just drill like that, and basically hope that the blocks coming down will go into 9 chains. They will give you a 9 chain for this one, so, or they will always give you a 9 chain for this. So you don't have to worry about anything else about that. When you complete it, you can get to the end. We'll go to the next area. We'll get down to the 100 meters, and you're all good. Feasibly, until the next mission. And yeah, actually, the skill of Mr. Taizo here is that he drills faster, and with that drill item, there you go. Okay, here's the next one. You have to complete it with limited air capsules, which is... Yeah, so I can only collect a couple of these, actually. Oh, okay, okay, there we go. I'm so focused on that, you sometimes lose track of yourself, which is what I do a lot. But, alright, yeah, you have to complete this with only 2 of them, so I can't pick up more than 2. That being said, if I pick up an item and I get the air replenishment, I can use that. So it is a little fair as far as it... Or, well, it's fair anyway. I mean, it's just... It'd be difficult if you're not careful, and clearly I'm playing this in a way that I'm not being careful. By the way, if I got the other one... Or if I got another one after that, I think that is an instant game over. So yeah, I have 2 lives, but yeah, it'd be counting as me instantly losing. Okay, there we go. There's my quest complete. Whoa! Yeah, fortunately that item up there, yeah, it's not worth getting, but I need air, and I need it badly. Alright, there we go. I do just like the way this looks as far as, like, the colors. I mentioned that sort of with Katamari Damacy, but with this one in particular, there's something very appealing. You mentioned, it's like a theme park, almost. or almost like, you know, candy coating. Alright, destroy... Okay, this is destroy the blocks, which is probably the easiest one, or one of the easiest ones, because all you need to do is just keep drilling. And I guess... find something out for the purpose of this. Okay, yeah, the rock counts as drilling, okay. Because I didn't actually check that. But that's the benefit of, like, streaming for this. Like, yeah, I get to check out stuff I didn't really know of, or think to know, or if chat mentioned saying, like, hey, what happens if you do this? Like, well, I don't know, let's find out. Actually, like, with Katamari Damacy, when we, get crushed here, but also when we're trying the single analog control. Alright, we got the fast drilling. I am kind of low on blocks to hit, so just keep doing that until we do that. There we go. Alright, this is gonna be a little easier, but we got a lot of these here. Okay, there we go. Health extension, perfect. Which admittedly doesn't do much when you get further down because your air drains really fast. But any little bit will help, pretty much. So that's what that's gonna look like. Oh shit, I forgot limited air capsules. But alright, that shows what happens when you fail and the mission, and yeah, you're done. But we'll try again with this, and there we go. And yeah, it does give you the list of what achievements you've gotten, and any new ones will be, you know, recorded. But all our achievement stuff was with the Katamari game, for sure. And hopefully I'll be able to get through this. I mean, to be fair, it's funny. This is the next puzzle game I'm doing. Like, this is like Robotnik's Mean Machine, where I'm dying a lot at. And, I mean, although like that one, I didn't necessarily talk up that, man, I'm the expert at this game. I played it a lot, but I'm not exactly the expert at it. And it is a unique one as far as how expertise looks because of the unique mechanics of it. Which makes it interesting and makes me glad that we have the one on the Switch. So again, newer generations can see this. Which I think is a lot of the appeal now of gaming in some ways. Showing people games that either they might not have known or that they hadn't been able to play the first time. Which often is what happens with me. In fact, there is one other aspect of that, now I'm thinking about it, which is... Okay, it's chain creation, that's good. But I was gonna say, the limited run stuff when that comes out. They are doing a physical release on the Neo Geo Pocket Color collection, or the volume 1 of that. Which is definitely one I want to take a look at, because I never played the Neo Geo Pocket Color, so you'll get that element going. Also, I think they did announce the other day that they're finally going to be getting on to the physical release for the Castlevania Anniversary Collection for the Switch and PS4. So if you didn't buy or download it for 20 bucks and you want a physical on that, there's your option. But in that case, as I mentioned, the idea of... Because look, I'm coming in here saying like, oh, it looks like I have knowledge of this game, and I do to a certain extent. But it's not to say that, oh, there's games... Look, I don't know every single game, which is the benefit and the reason I love this show, or love doing this show, and love mixing up with all of you in the chat, because there are games I don't know, there are games I love to be, you know, have exposed to me, or people expose them to me, and learn about them that way. Even if it's games that, you know, I might have played once, but then I didn't really, you know, grasp what I was doing completely. Okay, and here's the other mission type. We'll probably go through all the missions. I'll jump in, or all the mission types doing this. This is a time limit, so you basically have to get to the bottom in 40 seconds, but with the two-color element of this, you're in good shape. If he's with the bubble, that'll... Oh, I never had that happen before. I died in midair. Alright, now the air thing is not gonna factor, but that's the other reason I also like to stream stuff, because just sometimes weird stuff will happen, like, man, I've never seen that happen before, or chat saying, like, what about this? So it kind of comes with the territory. Alright, yeah, no item usage. That being said, you can pick up the air canisters, so keep that in mind. Alright, at least I had the bubble, so we're all set that way to be safe. Catch that down there. Oh, here's the thing. You can't use items, but I can hold that item for later. So, uh-oh, we got out of the way because I didn't see a pink. Yeah, as long as I don't use it now, we're good. So I'm not going to use it now. We're going to go down here. Okay, now I got to use the air capsule limitation. But I'm definitely going to make use of that right now. Oh. Alright, there we go. But unfortunately, I can only hit one more, and I'm getting further down, so I'm going to be in trouble if I... Okay, yeah, no, I'm not getting that one. But I am getting this one. Oh, and the air extender, but again, it's probably not going to do much. And yeah, I can't get that, unfortunately, because of the quest. I probably got to die because of... Okay, and I can't use items now. Oh, alright. Yeah, Mr. Dig Dug Man's lungs aren't what they used to be. But, then again, he had other things to worry about, you know, working in the garden in the original game, you know, getting burned to death. So, yeah, this is, like, nothing to him. Oh! Whoa! Oh, that was close. Alright, okay, 2 more. Great 10 chain. Yeah, it's funny. I want to do that, but I also don't want to be too cavalier with that. Okay, I got it, but I just didn't want to because, like, I didn't want to get crushed again. All right, there's the bubble. Actually, use the bubble. Yeah, let's use the bubble here. And that does hold for a little while. It'll eventually disappear. And I have 1 life left. Oh god, I don't want to keep losing on the 1,000. I mean, it does get more difficult to go along, but still. Oh no, I'm good. Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. Alright. Yeah, again, this is the... Yeah, I mean, there are going to be puzzle games, I will say, that I will not, you know, have difficulty with. And, I mean, technically I've done this stuff before. Well, okay, let's try Germany again, and, I think eventually then, we'll probably call it, because, I mean, I guess that's really most of what we got. I mean, I'll say this. I guess, in a lot of ways, tonight was a cleanup night, to a certain extent, with Katamari Damacy, but also just of, alright, what other time I'm going to be able to talk about Mr. Driller, and when will it make sense to do it. So I figured that. Whereas next week is not going to be a catch-up night. Next week is going to be the first entry of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, the first RPG for the channel, and I am looking forward to doing that one quite a bit. That's going to take a couple parts for sure, but we're going to go through that. We're going to have a lot of fun with that game, and a lot of, you know, I'm going to assume, that, chat, we have a lot of memories of that game, and we're going to be celebrating them as we come up on the 25th anniversary of it in about, well, okay, the 25th anniversary of it already happened back in March, but for the US, it's 25 years, actually this month, so that's the other reason we're doing it then. The week after that, we're doing Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, then Mad Maestro for PlayStation 2, and in a month, I'm not sure. But we're open as far as what you want to see, or what you want me to play. In the meantime, we'll just keep going without dying, and if I die here, by the way... Oh, okay, yeah, that was unfortunately what I didn't want to happen, me losing my full health recovery. But yeah, if I died there, even though I have 3 lives... Yeah, it's a game over. I'm totally done. You totally lose if you die. And I'm trying to remember if it is that way for every mission. Or if you fail any mission, if it's an instant game over. But I know for a fact with the life one... Uh-oh. Christ, I'm gonna have to drill through that. Yeah, unfortunately, you sometimes get cornered that way. Alright, so yeah, it's still just destroying the blocks, which is good. But I can't go... Okay, now I can go. Okay, this is going to be the easy one to do the chain, because basically at that point, it's like, yeah, they're just going to keep falling down. You're going to get that mostly no problem. Oh, watch. This is going to be the one I don't. Okay, got it. There's 2 things of air. There's another thing of air. There's an... Oh, there's an air extension. And there's a full air. Awesome, awesome. Hit that, hit that, hit that. Yeah, I want that. There we go. I was gonna say, for a minute there, I was like, okay, this is the recording curse that they always talk about as far as on this game, but I got a little bit of luck. And there's a full one again, but I don't want to hit another, you know, treasure box for the purpose of that. And also, here's the other thing about this. I will, I guess, go into this little element of it, and I guess this is it with the other versions, too. The treasures, they'll appear, I believe, when you clear enough blocks... Actually, you know... Oh, shit! I didn't mean to hit that. Alright, yeah, you go to 0. What I was gonna say was that the treasure chests appear sometimes out of nowhere, so sometimes it's hard to avoid, you know, picking one up if you want to hold an item. Alright, let's do this one more time. I'm not gonna let this get to me. We'll at least complete one of these, or one of the normal, I mean, the easy one. But there's our quest complete, and we're all good. For now. So again, I just have to do 2. Or 10 of these, I should say. Imagine doing 50 on the North Pole. Yeah, that's good luck on that one. And since you go down further, the further you go down, the faster your air goes down, and... I mean, you were seeing it, sometimes, even at this low depth, it goes down, you know, really, really fast. Uh-oh. Right, there's an item. Okay, I can pick up the item, but I can't use it. But thankfully, they don't do that with the air capsules. You can pick up the air capsules. Uh-oh. I was gonna try and get out of the way, because I was getting crushed by those. Also, when you die, by the way... It's not a game over. I guess the expiration of your, drilling body and you turning into the angel makes it so that the blocks surrounding you are going to be destroyed. So, hey, if there's that item up there I couldn't get, well, yeah, I can get it then. But, yeah, not happening right now. At least I can catch this air on the way down. And then this one, and this is the last one I can get for this section. Just keep drilling, keep going. And pay attention to... Yeah, I don't want to do that again, walking into the air capsule. Alright, no item usage. Alright. Just find the air capsules, and that's all I really want. Yeah, it looks like it stopped there. By the way, I mean, actually, I may as well mention this briefly, since, again, it gives more variety to what we're talking about. I am playing this with the Xbox One controller, mine connected to the console using the, I guess, the charge kit elements. And honestly, I used to play with the wireless pad, or play this wirelessly, but when I did Mega Man 7, the controller just stopped working at one point. So at that point, I said, okay, going forward, we're not going to do that. So anytime I got a console where I have a wireless controller, I'll be using it wired, unless I can't avoid it. So I'll basically be coming whenever I do something on the Wii. So in that case, I won't have an option for a wired controller. Even something like the classic controller for a lot of the Virtual Console releases. Oh, shit. But even for some of those things, it's still a wireless controller because it connects into the Wii remote. So at that point, it'll still be that way. Uh-oh. Yeah, I know, it's still clearing, so that's why. Alright, you can go to the left just because I can't get that. Alright, clear the time limit, which is good. Alright. Oh, right, I gotta wait for the... Okay, there's the drilling item. Yeah, because when the bubble goes, it also blocks the air capsules. You have to wait till it goes away. Uh-oh. Alright, we're almost there. But I need air, and badly. And I'm gonna die again. Oh, man. Oh, that was... Okay, that was my last life anyway, but... Unfortunately, because the air... Yeah, again, I don't want this to... I don't... Okay, I keep doing that. I keep hitting the A button on that, because then it shows you your gamer tag. But, alright, we're getting through this. We're getting through Germany on the quest mode, and, yeah. Yeah, I want... If it takes... Yeah, if I somehow end up pulling another Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine, I keep losing... Yeah, we'll be done, but, because, I mean, in this case, I guess unlike, first let me know if this is the case, was there a story element to Mr. Driller on the PlayStation and Dreamcast and Arcade, and for that matter, I guess if there is one in that Switch release? Because this one, there's not. This one is just going through the levels. In this case, it's also good to have that drill, because you just destroy the blocks easily. But in this case, this is more straightforward, because this was an Xbox Live Arcade game, so it was designed more for quick bursts, feasibly. Yet still, it's something I could feasibly put in a lot of hours to. Alright, so there's the blocks there. There is an item. Let's turn on the feet, or that. Okay, there we go. Health extension, or air extension. Okay, so go with the time limit. Oh. Yeah, I was trying to drill down fast so I could get that, but unfortunately not. Unfortunately, the time is still going. Just keep drilling. At least I got lucky with the air right there. Not sure. Okay. Yeah, because I know that even... I know that they do try and... They have tried to tie this in particular with Dig Dug to some degree. And I'm not sure to what degree they've done it. Or what degree certain versions of this game have done it. There's another also version of this, I think, on the Game Boy Advance and the DS as well. I think the DS version is on the Wii U's Virtual Console, if I remember correctly. So there is that element, but... I mean, that would be interesting if there's more story in the advanced or the portable versions, although that would be like Mario Golf or something like that, where they put the RPG mode in the console versions. Or not in the console versions. That is not until the one that's coming out into next month, actually. For the Switch, we're going to have finally an RPG element of that game. Or of the Mario Golf game, anyway. Can I get that? Okay, 2 air canisters. Perfect. At some point, I do want to do Mario Golf, even though, like, well, why would you do a sports game for this channel? Yeah, if you're saying that, you probably never played Mario Golf, because that game is incredible. On Nintendo 64 and on Game Boy Color. It might be even better on Game Boy Color, which is saying a lot, because I grew up with it more on Nintendo 64. And actually, if I can, I kind of want to see if I can do this. I actually would want to get a physical of it on Game Boy Color, because I have it on the 3DS Virtual Console, but I would be interested in doing that, because then I could do... Oh shit, I forgot that aspect of it. Quest board. What's that? Is that a game? Is that a mode of something? Let me know, and we'll go into that. Oh! Oh, we're talking about this. You're talking about the quest element. Is this it? Is that it? Okay, yeah, just let me know. I'll go into it while, again, I'll pay more attention this time, because I guess that's kind of what happens. Alright. Oh, that, right. Yeah, over there, the quest board, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, pay attention to that. Don't quit not doing it, and I almost am doing it again. But in some ways, that can be fun, too. As far as seeing, like, oh yeah, I'm not paying attention, I'm getting so into other elements, and, yeah, failing. But still having a good time. So there's that. And hopefully you guys are having a good time, too. And we'll look forward to the other stuff we have in the pipeline as far as other games. And also the idea that the stream was up on time this week, so I guess the elements we had before were with, you know, the stream not starting right away, are going to be fixed. That's what I meant. Okay. Yeah, because first, like, wait a minute. Because I thought, I mean, maybe going into some of the elements, I saw a quest board, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's something like a board game of some sort. Or maybe I thought, I don't know why my mind went to this, maybe because I'm thinking Nintendo 64 with Mario Golf. Maybe I was thinking Quest 64 from Imagineer, which is definitely, oh, again, I didn't pay attention! Alright, that's my fault, but yeah, that's the feeling you'll have playing Quest 64 if you've never played that. That is not a good game, but it is also a game that I feel a little bad for because of the fact that it had to be the first RPG on the system, and, on a system that doesn't have many RPGs anyway. And, yeah, it had a lot of big shoes to fill, and, yeah, it didn't fill them. Or as I think Nintendo Power put it, they said, quote, it's like a trip to the dentist instead, rather than a quest. Like, well, I don't know if it's that bad, but it's like, yeah, I didn't get into it very much. Oh, you're doing quest mode, okay. Yeah, well, that's the reason I'm dying, but also, you're right, I'm not paying attention to the quest board. I need to be, but, I mean, if nothing else, I'll tell you this, and this also goes to what I was saying when we did Mean Bean Machine, which was, even when you're failing a game a lot of times, it can create an interesting discussion of elements to that, but also, you then start paying attention more, and I guess with this game, there are a lot of, here's the thing about Mr. Driller. It's a pretty simple game as far as how its mechanics work, but also, I'm realizing maybe more now, you really have to pay attention to a lot. It's like, okay, I have to drill down. I have to watch for those blocks coming down. The rock coming down to crush me almost. I have to pay attention to where my air is, and if that gets too low, I die. In quest mode like this, I need to pay attention to saying, like, don't lose a life, otherwise I lose all my life and the game is over. And make sure I'm not... So, and you have to basically make all those things happen. Which doesn't... I mean, it's not overwhelming, but... And then I guess this is the idea of, like, the appeal of, like, an arcade game. Like, when you get into that feeling of, oh god, I gotta do this. I can't, do these things. I gotta get these blocks. I have to get the items. I have to, use this at the right time. Make sure I'm not dying. It's great. I, too, would love to see Mario Golf. Okay, well, go back to that then briefly. And drill fast enough to get that green there. And try to get the item. Because what I was going to say about Mario Golf is... I kind of want to get a physical copy of... Well, what happened? Oh, I didn't destroy the blocks. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, I died. Okay, it was like, what happened? Okay, there we go. What I was going to say with Mario Golf is I would love to get a physical of it for Game Boy Color because on the Nintendo 64, well, I have everything unlocked in that game, including Metal Mario. So yeah, I had to get the birdie badges on every single hole in that game. But there is unadvertised... Okay, there is sort of advertised compatibility with the transfer pack with the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf. It basically lets you take the characters from the Game Boy Color game, put them into the Nintendo 64 game, play them, you get experience points you can send back to the Game Boy Color game. Because on the Game Boy Color, they give you an RPG mode, which is amazing. As far as, going through that. Basically, if you're a fan of Golf Story on the Switch, that was Golf Story before Golf Story came out. And so they integrated with the transfer pack, although, thing about the transfer pack is, it was not out when Mario Golf came out on the Nintendo 64, so for a long time, no one could use it. It said, actually, in the in-game element of it, that it utilized it, but you couldn't use it until Pokemon Stadium came out over 6 months later. Golf Story? Have you played it? It's, I've heard it from people who love that. It's on the Switch. It was an independent release. I believe going back to Limited Run again, they did do a physical... Oh, shit, I was trying to drill my way away. But yeah, what Golf Story is it takes from Mario Golf the Game Boy entries that had the RPG mode, which was that one. I think there was the Advanced Tour on the Game Boy Advance that did it. I think the one on the 3DS did it as well. But basically what they do is they give you an RPG mode for that. And it's funny, I've actually not played Golf Story myself, but I've heard great things about it, and as a fan of that Mario Golf game on Game Boy Color, it's, yeah, I would be totally down for playing it. In fact, I got massively into that Game Boy Color game. I was thinking, like, well, I love this game so much on Nintendo 64, is it possible for me to get into it more on the Game Boy Color? And the answer was yes. I remember I was on a vacation with my girlfriend, and we actually had to take flight, so basically what happened was, like, I was playing Mario Golf on the plane, and I was getting really excited about the fact of, trying to make a great shot, or just missing the putt, and then doing that, when you miss the putt, which for years, I'll tell this story, my grandfather, God rest his soul, was a huge one into golf. He loved golfing so much. He taught me everything I knew about it, but weirdly enough, for years I saw him watch golf on television on Sundays. And I never really understood, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing the quest mode when I'm not paying attention to the quest board. But I'll do it one more time, but I'll finish the story anyway. Do one more time, and if I screw up again, we'll go to the normal mode again. But anyway, I never understood, like, why did he get so into the idea of the putt? Like, missing the putt. The idea, like, you're a few centimeters off and you just miss getting the ball in the hole on the green. I was like, I didn't get that. And I played Mario Golf, and then, like, it clicked. I was like, okay, I get it now. And, because I started to do the same thing, and I was doing that in, when I was on vacation with my girlfriend, showing her, like, I just missed that putt, and even she was kind of getting into it, like, ugh! And she's not necessarily one into sports massively either. I mean, I kind of can be in some cases, but I'm not usually. But, I mean, even she was kind of getting into the idea of what that was like. Or even the idea of, like, when I got a hole in one, I was like, let me show you, I just got a hole in one, let me do the replay. And even she was like, wow, that's awesome. Or I was even like, because the whole time I'm playing on Game Boy Color, because I played it on the 64 first, I'm doing, like, all the quotes of, you know, the announcer guy in that one going, like, wow, hole in one! Or other things, or even the idea of, like, whenever I see, like, excellent come up in any other game, I always do that excellent, and they do that, or whatever it is, like the monkey thing going on, or whenever he says that, great, dig-a-dig-a-dig-it, which I do love that. And we're gonna be getting into that when we play Mario Golf. At some point, I should do Mario Golf for Nintendo 64, but I do think I want to do, what is it? I think I do want to get the Game Boy Color physical version to use the transfer pack. I play lots of Everybody's Golf. Yeah, that's, which was, known as Everybody's Golf, the Sony Claphands franchise that started, actually was initially developed by, the first entry was developed by the people who made Mario Golf, Camelot, and actually I think, although it's funny, I used to think that some of the characters, non-Mario, in that game were from Hot Shots Golf, the first one on the PlayStation. Apparently they weren't, so I was wrong on that, but yeah, now they call it Everybody's Golf. I haven't played it, but, oh crap, alright. But wait, it's the time limit one, so we're good. But it is kind of the same mentality of, you know, right, Everybody's Golf. It brings people into golf who you would think wouldn't necessarily get into the concept and teach the idea of how it works. Okay, now Clue Without a Life, which should be easy, but considering how much I've been failing on this so far, maybe not. But bringing people into that, and it is a series that at some point I would like to play some of. I believe they have a couple, I think they have the second game on the PS3 for that. There was a third one on the PS2, I think there's a fourth one on the PS2, and then they've had it on multiple systems. I guess when you say Everybody's Golf, which one is it? Because I think there is a new one on, it's either on PS4 or PS5, or maybe it's on both. Which version are we talking about as far as which one you've played and where your expertise with it lies? Oh, I try to get air without, you know, dying. And I can't use that nice full air item, but if I can get to the end and get to the next section, I'm gonna use it first thing. Okay, I guess not, but when you do die, you don't lose your item, at least. I played on PlayStation 4. Okay. I will have to look into one of those for sure, because that is... And it's cut from the same cloth as Mario Golf in a lot of ways. So in that way, it would make sense to take a look. And a franchise I'm not... I mean, I know of it, but I haven't played a lot of it. And one I've been... I know people have recommended me that game multiple times, and why not? Alright, actually, this is gonna be good. It's like, yeah, just keep drilling. Ignore that completely. It's like, yeah, because I have the item. Okay, good. Unless they... Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Alright, because, yeah, you want to use that full air item when you get it at the opportune time. But it's not, as I mentioned, because the treasure chest can sometimes appear right where you're walking, and you don't know until, like, oh, wait a minute, that nice item I had for my air extension or air recovery is replaced with the, you know, the fast shoes, or whatever they are. So that could sometimes be a little bit of a buzzkill. But I did that, and I pay attention to the blocks now. Okay, don't die. Oh, shit! Yeah, I said don't die, and I did. Okay, you know what? We're going back to the other mode, and then I think at some point, like, yeah, this humiliation has been going long enough. Although, weirdly enough, I don't feel humiliated on this one. And I think maybe it's also because I'm not talking myself up as an expert on this game. I mean, I think it also goes to show in some ways that feasibly I can talk over any game. Just is a generality. Like, any person could feasibly do a stream concept on any game. But some cases, because there's a lot of things to it, there will be games that might be better, or somebody might be better than others, or other ones you can talk over easier. I guess with Katamari Damacy was easier because I didn't really have a whole lot of other things I needed to go into that we didn't already cover about a month ago. Okay, a little over, but, yeah, there we go. After this, I'm going to be playing Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Okay, as I said, I do want to try it or play that version, because... Alright, I'm back. Okay, I'm not dealing with the quest anymore, thank God. Alright, so that's good to get in the puzzle mood, for sure, and to enjoy the game you just bought. And I gotta play more Pokemon, or new Pokemon Snap, which I'm liking quite a bit based on what I've played. And as I said at the start of this, I was afraid, because it was Namco who was developing it, as much as I was like, alright, I'm looking forward to this, I want to play this badly, I was also saying, I hope they don't do the end-user license agreement thing. They don't. Thank the lords, they do not. So in that case, that was a little something, and the game itself is a lot of fun. It looks great, as we talked about when we did Pokemon Snap, and that episode will go up probably this week on the YouTube site. I had a great time doing that Pokemon Snap episode, and for the new game, to give you the first impressions on what I'm thinking, it's good stuff. It feels, in some ways, a lot like... It feels, in some ways, like the original, but also a lot of ways not, but I also like how it's kind of doing some of its things differently, including the idea that you have night photography, which is wonderful. I love the idea of that, and the idea of getting the Pokemon into all the poses, which is the appeal of the other one, or even just, like, little quality-of-life things of, hey, now you can do, like, free shot. You don't need to necessarily pull the scope up, or pull up the, camera lens to just take a picture. You can, like, do free shooting, along with, like, the zoom in to get a better shot, and then playing on to certain things. I guess the one thing I have noticed is that it is a little less, strict in some ways with the judging. I mean, Professor Mirror, who's the professor guy in that, he won't be as much of a, you know, stickler for things as Oak, although I guess maybe that's the idea of, like, Oak in his older age is like, well, no, this younger guy is, in case of that one, Todd, not doing it for me. In case it's like, oh, he should know better because he holds himself up as the Pokemon photographer, which in the anime he does, because there's like an arc in the anime, a couple episodes, where he joined for the the Indigo League arc. He joins Ash, Misty, and Brock, and they're all there. Or he's all there with it, and he's like, oh yeah, he's the photographer guy. So it's like, yeah, when he doesn't, you know, put up as far as it's concerned with Oak, with his skills, he's like, yeah, no, or like, you were close. Well, trying to be like that passive-aggressive perspective, kind of like King of all the Cosmos and Katamari Damacy, so it all fits. Okay, I learned my lesson for that. I was like, yeah, don't try and be fancy. Or get stuck. No, no, no! Okay, I'm gonna get... Oh, inches away from getting that. But I do have one more life, and we're over halfway through, so... Hoping this time, fingers crossed. Alright, let's keep it up. Uh-oh. Ah, there's so much for that. So much for me giving myself, you know, a good pep talk. Alright, we're doing one more, and then... Actually, I guess at that point we'll be coming to 2.5 hours, so I think we can then call it then. Because I think I've shown that off. Okay, well, you know what? Let's... Alright, let's try Horinger Z. Because I was playing as, you know, Dig Dug Man. Maybe that was the problem. But yeah, we're literally a drill. We're taking Mr. Driller to the, I guess, the logical conclusion. I hear this weird kind of sound of his. And I guess he was in the other versions of this, but let me know, chat, if that's not correct. But anyway, he does... Apparently, he does have, better air capabilities, but he doesn't drill as fast. Actually, that might have been the reason when I was playing with, again, I call him Dig Dug Man. He has an actual name, Taizo, I think it was. But... Alright, I was wanting to wait for that. So maybe that's the idea, just play the other characters. I mean, in all honesty, when I usually play this game, I usually just play as Susumu, because, like, okay, he's the main character, and he's, you know, average at everything. That being said, I don't necessarily have a whole lot of, experience as far as this game, or even, like, doing multiplayer, because, yeah, this is the Mr. Driller Online game. I think the multiplayer in this is online only, I think. I don't remember. I could take a look at that later and, I guess, update you just to correct the record. Or what I'll do is I might do what I sometimes been doing in some of the streams I've been putting up on the YouTube site. I'll do the editing to tell you, okay, what's the date that we had this, to put it in context. Like for the Pokemon Snap playthrough, I'm saying then, oh yeah, it's 2 months until new Pokemon Snap, which it was when we recorded it, but now it's already out, so that's going to change. But just put it into the context that way. Or just put in other comments about, oh yeah, here's something I was wrong about, or something else. So feasibly I can put into, at this point, whenever I get to uploading this one, or when I match up with when the streams are going, when I'm doing them here and then they're going up on the YouTube site, then I can just put onto that and say, oh, by the way, here's a note of what it is. And to be fair, I'm kind of being very non-ambitious with some of that stuff. But in some ways, like, well, alright, I'm just doing it kind of quick, but in some ways, as I said, it goes to the idea that Super Old Game Saturday is in a way a fly-by-night operation as far as, like, it's in a way no frills as far as some of the things I'm doing, but it is a frills operation in the sense of the games you're playing, the games you want me to play, which I thank you very much for that, and for your patronage and viewership and all that, and the chat discussion, which comes through on that especially. So then, like, okay, we're talking certain things, and I think I made it clear with some of the videos I've done and the ones that go up there, which is that I'm enunciating what the chat is saying, so it seems like I'm going off topic, saying like a million things at once. It's like, well, no, not exactly, because I'm looking at what chat's saying, they're mentioning something, and then I'm saying, yeah, I'm kind of doing a reaction to that. And so far, I am doing a bit better, because I am not in a bad situation with the drill man here, the actual drill. Although he does have the skill, as it said on the screen there, which was, I can get hit by a block without dying. Or without, okay, with the bubble I can do it anyway, but normally I can avoid that. Well, also, I guess he has the air meter higher, so I guess that means that, well, he has the air meter higher, so it won't go down as fast as I'm drilling. Alright, but we are getting there, and I'm feeling... Yeah, I feel like I'm going to jinx it by saying I'm feeling good about this, but I'm feeling good about it. I mean, I'm feeling good doing this, so, I mean, in that case, that's fine. And admittedly, this is more of a bonus as far as what we're doing with the game. And actually, I guess, yeah, when I'm done with this, it looks like I'll have either played this for as long as Katamari Damacy, or maybe a tad longer. But in that case, this will be kind of like a sort. I mean, I guess going back to the sports parallels, the idea of the bye week. That's football, but I mean, you get the idea. Oh, actually, I should be using that thing about getting hit by the blocks. But yeah, it'll be almost like a bye week, almost in the sense of, all right, this is me finishing business as far as, okay, here's a game that we're gonna finish. Oh, right, there you go, because you get that little bomb thing. So basically, it's like the bubble, pretty much. Okay, there's the full perfect. Awesome. That is the point when you want to have that. Like, yeah, you are just about to die. Oh, no, I'm not, because I have that item. But as I was mentioning, this is kind of like me finishing unfinished business, and next week is going to be, one of the main attractions, because we're going to go to a different game, and we're going to go to a game that'll go a bit longer. I mean, it's not going to be one part for that game, because it's an RPG, but it will be probably like a 3.5-4 hour bout initial run for the first go of things. And how I'm going to handle that game outside of, me, playing it in parts. I will be showing off as many of the, extras and unique bits of that game as I can. There are certain things that I don't think I'm going to be able to do, because even though I've been playing that game for 25 years, I don't have the skill for that. We're not going to be getting the super jacket, which is the thing when you do the super jump 100 times. We might see the rare scarf, which you do it for 30, because I've done that, but I'm not going to necessarily promise. Alright, now the drill is dead, but yeah, we're a lot better because we're almost at 1,000. So yeah, change of character might have been the way to go, but I'll show off what I can. We will show off most of that game, as many of the Easter eggs as I know of which there's tons, and it's also one of those games, and I'll mention this when we play it more. Even 25 years later, I still find new things to that. I will eventually do the Culex fight. We'll beat the game entirely. We will go to Great Guys Casino. I think of all the other elements. We will see the cameo appearances in the game, and yeah. So that's going to be a great time, and I'm going to look forward to that experience, the first RPG for the channel, and your experiences with this game, because I've got tons with that one. And oh, well, we got to the bottom. Perfect. All right, finally, after all that time, we got to the goal. But before we end, since I did get to the goal on this, with this drill man, I'm feeling maybe a little lucky. So we're going to do quest drill. I'm going to pay attention, and if I fail this, then we're going to be done. So this has been a decent, run for tonight, I think. Again, we got Katamari Damacy done, and eventually the first part will be up on the YouTube site, along with this one. Oh, shit. So much for that. Alright, fine. That was too quick. I'll try one more time. And that's the other thing about a game when you get hooked to it. It's always that one more try concept. That's when you know when a game is good. It's like, well, alright, you can't stop playing it. But I will, you know, stop playing it soon enough. But I'll actually pay attention to the quest board, which I should be doing. If anything, that's going to be, I guess, the running joke of this, which is watch the quest board and how, like, no, I'm not watching it, and I'm paying the price for it. But feasibly with Drill Man here, we should be good. I hope. We did get through the standard drill of 1,000. Alright, you know what? We'll do one more thing. I will just show you how insanely difficult this is. This is not going to be... Or... Okay. Fine, I'll try Germany one more time, and then if I fail this time, we'll show the North Pole. Alright, I just have to pay attention to that quest board again, because, again, I'm losing myself. But sometimes that's what happens. That will not happen with Super Mario RPG, or if it does, I have 25 years of experience in that game. I will talk myself up on that game. I keep doing the same thing of getting the air capsules. Alright, fine. This is going to be the actual final, and I promise this time that will be it. Scout's honor. Even though I was not a scout, but still, point is the same. And nothing else. I guess that'll become the running joke of this channel, which is what's the puzzle game I don't die constantly at, which is going to be, and like first we will get to this eventually, Tetris Attack, for sure, or Pokemon Puzzle League, Paneled Upon, all that. When we get to that, that'll be the game where, yeah, we're going to be smoking. Or I'll be smoking on that one, and it'll be wonderful. And Tetrisphere, that I don't know. I did put it in when I got it today to make sure it worked, which it does. And I did feel I was a little... Okay, good. Pay attention. No more air capsules after this one. But, I did play it a little. I did feel like I was a little better than when I played it back in 1997. But outside of that, that was really... Yeah, I couldn't really tell, because I think I got it, like, almost an hour before the stream about. So it was actually pretty close to it. So I can't really speak to it. But it was interesting kind of going back to some of those techno elements of that game. And also remembering that, yeah, this was... Okay, yeah, alright, yeah. You see, I keep promising one more, but I was like, well, okay, this is gonna really, really, truly be the last one. But going back to Tetrisphere is like, yeah, I definitely was... I mean, it is, again, like this one, it is unique for it, as far as puzzle game, and also some of the trippy music, which I remember, like, yeah, kind of weirdly atmospheric, but I didn't have a whole lot going right away from just playing it for, like, a few minutes to make sure the game worked. I just want to make sure the game worked, and have that set. And we'll have some interesting stuff when I go into that, and I did buy the instruction manual, because I want to know what I'm doing. Alright, so no using items. You know what, this might make it easier with the quest board. Just read out what we have to do each mission. So, no items. Which is fine, we just need to get the air capsules. Drill that pink there so it doesn't crush us. Okay, so complete in 50 seconds. Perfect, awesome. And we're at 3 lives now, so looks like we're in good shape. I hope. But how many times have I failed? I mean, as I said, I'm taking it in stride. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel embarrassed on this one. If that happens to Super Mario RPG, I will, but I mean, I would like to think that's not going to happen unless I get really unlucky. But, so far, it's been good. Okay, that's 3 down. Limited air capsules, alright, so don't get more than 2. And I'm at high enough air anyway, and he does have some, you know, extra energy or extra lung capacity feasibly. Well, okay, he's a robot, so fair enough. By that standard, you think, well, we wouldn't need to deal with air at all, but, yeah, that's not how it's working in the Mr. Driller land, but still, we're okay. I can get one more on the way down. Yeah, I can get that one. Now we're all at the end. There. Perfect. Limited air capsules, which on these are always, like, the breather sections. Or maybe that item box... Oh, it has the shoes, alright. Which are probably the least useful, but they do make you go a little faster when you move, so it is kind of use in some cases. And the shoes again. Oh! Again with the damn air capsules. That's what does it. Alright, I made a promise that was going to be the end. So, alright, we're going to make it the end. I'm going to have to impose that. But yeah, okay, so that's me failing on Mr. Driller online, mostly. I mean, honestly, the best we did when we did India and we did Egypt. And then there's also Tibet, which is unlimited. Then there's also Russia, America, and India. And then also for Quest Driller, also Japan, which is the easiest. You know what, fuck it. Let's do Japan, which won, so at least I can end on a victory. And it'll be like a few seconds, so just basically just keep hitting the A button. Oh, I could probably dig through the dirt and be okay then. But I was like, well, no, I'll go that way. This will literally take not even 30 seconds. And then we'll finish. Yeah, because see, I'm stubborn that way. There we go. So this is how it should look, feasibly, when you complete the quest mode and pay attention to that quest board without picking up those air capsules and screwing yourself out. But there you go. You get the Mr. Driller bonus, you get the Quest Driller bonus, you get the Speed Driller bonus, and you get the Technical Driller bonus, which I guess is for... I guess how many times you died? Or lack thereof? Because all the Technical bonus in classic games tends to be that. So I'm going to assume that's the case. So 30 seconds about. And they do give you time bonus based on how long it takes. So, there we go. And with that, that is Mr. Driller Online. And Katamari Damacy Reroll, as we mentioned. Alright. So with that, with us finishing Katamari Damacy Reroll off, and with the meager, I definitely mean that, meager, victory of Mr. Driller Online, but mostly not victories at all. Yeah, but I could feasibly edit this episode to say, like, no, I got it the first time. But, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Honestly, the only times I'm going to edit is when it's like, well, it's so specific for certain things. Because that's the other thing. I just want this to kind of be just the... I take pride in the idea that I'm doing this off the cuff. I'm doing this pretty much unedited. The idea is like, we're going to be here, and most of that's not going to go. I mean, the one exception was Castlevania Bloodlines. That one I did cut down. That cut off an hour with that game, and I had to cut that down anyway because of the fact that I think that was a case where the stream went out or Twitch went down. I had to restart it. And that's where the line of, you know, I beat it in 5 minutes, don't tell anyone came from, because like, oh yeah, I had to do that. I put comments in the stuff for that as well. But yeah, that is Super Old Game Saturday for this May the 1st. So happy May Day to you. Now it's looking more like an evening for sure. But yeah, I do like those longer days with the nice sun out. And definitely two very sunny games from Namco to be enjoying. And I do like Mr. Driller Online, even though I'm not very good at it. It's a fun one. For something unique for puzzle games, it also kind of mixes it with an action game, sort of. It's a fun one, and it's worth playing. It might be easier to play the one that's on the Switch now. I think, what was it? Mr. Driller Drill Land, I believe is the name of it. And it is on the PS1 and the Dreamcast, although I think those versions go for a bit more. Or you can download this for $10, or get it in the Namco Museum Virtual Arcade, which at some point I want to go through. Because there's a lot of elements to it. And at that point, we'll probably skip this because we played it. And we'll probably also skip... Well, we might look at Galaga a little, and Legions. But I was thinking we did that for the Shooter Showcase, but we won't get it again, feasibly, for a brief take. Feasibly when my girlfriend gets involved on these. Because one game I think we're going to do in June, we're going to do Mega Man X3. And what we're going to do for that one is we're going to actually do something I usually don't do. I'm going to cut the stream because we're each going to play through the game once. We're playing a different version for each of the two of us. I'll be controlling the Super Nintendo version, which she has the physical copy of, and she'll be controlling the Sega Saturn version, which she also has the physical copy of. I'll go through our experiences that way. Basically like a commercial break at that point, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And the dates on that are not going to be completely set in stone right now, but they'll come. I guess of what is set in stone as far as the playthroughs, next week we'll be back with Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. We're going to start that. And I'm going to love doing that, and I'm going to look forward to the discussions we have on that, like the discussions we have every week, but especially for that game, because I got a lot of memories. I'm going to assume people have other ones, you know, in the chat as well. Actually, I said assume weirdly. It's like Perfect Dark, another game I bring up all the time. You can't say things like that without evidence. I assume you have some. Oh, there you go. I just did that without even, thinking with the assuming before that, but that's another thing. Week after that, it's going to be Super Sonic Game Saturday, kind of quickly, actually, compared to how it was recently. But we're going to be doing Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I still have a few things to unlock out of the game, and then I think it's really mostly the mirror stuff. I'm near the end of that. And then we'll show that off to have all the characters of the Xbox 360 version. I will bring up the differences of the PC version and the characters from that we will not be seeing. But it's not just going to be Sonic in that case, or not even elements of Sega, as we'll get into. But, we'll have that, and then the week after that we will be doing Mad Maestro for the PlayStation 2, going back to the element of music with Katamari Damacy and Mr. Driller. We're going to the Symphony with that one, with a rhythm game I will not be copyright stricken on, and a very unique one that if you have the PlayStation 2 and like those kinds of games, I think you should give it a look. And it is, it's nice stuff. So we'll do that in due time, but, that's going to call it for Super Old Game Saturday for tonight. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Thank you for all of your contributions in the chat, all of your intrigue, all of your interest in the show, which makes this show. And I'm glad, as I mentioned, what the show has become. And I plan to keep it going and keep it, expanding out as I'm doing. Not necessarily like, a massive conglomerative element of, oh yeah, I'm going to be getting paid for this, or like, it'll be like Wayne's World in that way. Another thing I bring up a lot. Of, selling it out to somebody else for advertising. No, not really. The only thing I guess for advertising is Twitch, as far as this is what I'm using to stream stuff, and I guess the games and where they come from, but then our experiences with the games as well, which I've loved that part, and the discussions we have. And again, thank you for all of, your support, your encouragement, your putting up with my failing on Mr. Driller and other puzzle games, but again, we do Tetris Attack at some point, and I will go to that eventually. Yeah, that will not happen, so don't you worry on that one. But I will see you next week in that case with Super Mario RPG. I'm looking forward to that. So have a wonderful night, wonderful rest of your weekend, and a wonderful week coming forward. This will be, the end of tonight for Super Old Game Saturday, but next week Super Mario RPG, and I will see you then. Good night, and take care.